Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Ken Dog. Welcome back to the next YouTube live stream. Today we're doing our MLB 2025 predictions with our co-host today, Max from the Sports Expert.
Oops, sorry. What is going on, everybody? It's the Sports Expert here, and we are here with our MLB predictions for the 2025 season, as the season will be getting underway pretty shortly here. And yeah, let's get right into it.
Just fair warning, this live stream might be a long live stream. Just a fair warning, because I looked at last year's tally. It went to about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But it happens. MLB, there's 30 teams, and we have to talk about every 30 team. Mm-hmm. Let me get my AL East paper out, and we can start it.
Yeah.
Oops. But yeah, AL East. Okay, what team do you want to start with? Do you want to start with who was the worst team last year in the AL East?
I think it was
Blue Jays?
Yeah.
Do you want to start with the Blue Jays and I can do the Red Sox?
Yeah. All right. So the Toronto Blue Jays. Let me just bring up the MLB standings again before I get this from last year before. Yeah, so we got the Toronto Blue Jays. They are coming off a 74-88 season. Not a great season. There was a lot of chatter whether they'd move forward with manager John Schneider, and they did. And they're going to be looking for significant improvement this season as they run it back.
They got a new manager?
They did not get a new manager.
Oh.
No, yeah. So they made a lot of additions. There was a lot of turnover this offseason with the Blue Jays as they look to improve on last season. I mean, Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro could be out of jobs, so they're looking to do what it takes to stay in office for the Blue Jays. So looking at their offseason, they made some decent additions. And the one addition that they kind of started off with was the trade for Cleveland Guardians second baseman Andres Jimenez. So they traded.
How do you feel about
that? Jimenez is a very good defensive second baseman for the Blue Jays. He'll provide some of the best defense in the major leagues for them. His bat has been a question mark the last 2 seasons. His OPS has been hovering around the 6.30, 6.50 mark, which is below average in the majors. And I think that was one of the main reasons the Cleveland Guardians moved on from him, plus his contract. They didn't want to pay him $23 million per year, which is going to be coming in the next couple of seasons for the Blue Jays now for that output of offense. It just wasn't enough for a team like the Guardians who looks to save on money, and they were able to offload Jimenez's contract. So I think that was a big win for them. But looking at it, the Blue Jays perspective, they get a very good defender here. You could even say an elite defender, which will help their infield and maybe even provide a spark. But that was their first move, and it looked like they weren't going to make a lot of moves. It looked like they were missing out on a lot of guys. But then they added Anthony Santander from the Baltimore Orioles, outfielder / DH, who's a decent defender. So they go out and get him good power bat, and they're going to hopefully insert him in the top 4 of the lineup and hope he can make an impact around guys like Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero and George Springer and others. So that was their 2 bigger additions of the offseason. They also added a couple of relievers, Jeff Hoffman and Yimi Garcia, which should solidify the bullpen. They did lose Jordan Romano. They cut him, who was their closer the last few seasons. But they also added Nick Sandlin, Dylan Tate, 2 other relievers. Nick Sandlin was actually part of the Jimenez trade. So, yeah.
Really?
But, yes. They also traded Miles Straw. That was just a minor trade from Cleveland. So they did 2 trades with Cleveland this offseason. And they acquired Max Scherzer, not acquired, but they signed him to a 1-year deal, I believe, worth $15 million to solidify their rotation.
That's not bad. I'm very excited to see what they do this offseason. Max Scherzer, Will he go back to his old form, his last 10 years in the MLB? Will we see Nick Sandin be really good for them?
Nick Sandlin?
Who knows? Sandlin, sorry about that.
It's all right.
Will Santander help their outfield in the future? Who knows?
Yeah. So
I'm very worried for this team coming up this next year.
Yeah, there is one worry I do have about the Toronto Blue Jays, and it's the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. situation. They were off their contract discussions. They were off $50 million on the money, the terms. They were off $50 million. Guerrero gave them a deadline to sign the deal, and they just never reached it. And now he's probably going to be hitting free agency. And I think the chances of the Toronto Blue Jays keeping him are very unlikely at this point after the season. So if the Toronto Blue Jays,
might be gone.
Yeah, if the Blue Jays struggle after around the trade deadline, they'll probably deal him for something. So that's worth monitoring. But this team is looking to improve. Their rotation on paper looks good. The only issue, it's really old. You have Kevin Gausman, who's 34 years old. You have Jose Berrios, who's going to be 31 soon. You have Chris Bassett, who's 36, I believe. Yeah, 36. You have Max Scherzer, who's going to be 41 in July. You have Bowden Francis, who is going to be their youngest starter at 28, 29 years old. So, yeah, and you have some depth with Yariel Rodriguez. They brought him back, and you have Alek Manoah recovering from Tommy John. Not sure if he'll play this year, but that's what the rotation's looking like. And obviously, we went over the lineup. We said George Springer, Vlad Guerrero, Andres Jimenez, Bo Bichette. Dalton Varsho's still there. Very good defender in center field. Their designated hitter spot is projected to be Will Wagner, who they acquired from the Astros for Yusei Kikuchi at the deadline, who I thought was a pretty solid get for them. They got a decent amount for a rental, and he could be a sleeper, very solid pure hitter in the minors. So they'll be looking at him as a possible impact player. And third base is probably the biggest weakness. They have Ernie Clement starting there, who's kind of more of a utility man rather than a starter. So they'll try to see what they can get out of that position. Maybe they even put Will Wagner there. But yeah, and they have Alejandro Kirk still catching. He was good a couple years ago, but he struggled to really find his form at the plate over the last 2 to 3 seasons. So that's the lineup. Solid on paper, but again, can they perform? They haven't performed the last couple of seasons, so we'll see there. One sleeper I do think that could make an impact is Joey Loperfido, who they also acquired in the Yusei Kikuchi trade. Showed a lot of power in the minors, but hasn't really shown that potential as he's had a lot of swing and miss in the majors. So, and obviously we went over the bullpen. We went over the bullpen. Hoffman, they still have Chad Green, Yimi Garcia, Nick Sandlin. They have some decent names in the bullpen, but I wouldn't say it's an elite bullpen by any means. So yeah.
But yeah, I'm just worried about their team because Vlad Guerrero and also Bo Bichette might be gone in the next few years.
Mm-hmm. And Bo Bichette had a down year last year. Will he be able to bounce back? And apparently he's been out of shape, so that's not ideal.
Hey, I don't know. We'll know really soon how Blue Jays do this year. Let's talk about who was second place last year.
I mean, fourth place.
Fourth place.
We got the Tampa Bay Rays, so yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun team to talk about from me. They had a weird offseason. The most strangest offseason in the last 5 years.
I agree.
First off, the roof basically got collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to go to the New York Yankees AAA ballpark. Not AAA. Their spring training ballpark to play baseball games this year. They also don't have their, I don't want to say that guy anymore, but the guy that should have had been their shortstop for years. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say his name because I don't think his name should be said on YouTube ever again.
I agree.
They didn't do much this offseason.
No.
For a team that wants to win, I can't see this team getting out of 4th or 5th place this year. But let's go over their additions. Han-Sang Kim, 2-year deal. I think with an opt-out. Ha-Seong Kim, it's going to be hurt for the first 2 months of the year. You heard that, right? Ha-Seong
Yeah,
Kim's out
he had shoulder surgery.
Getting Danny Jansen, he's not that good. And getting Eloy Jimenez on a minor league deal, that's not going to help him for years. Eloy was a stud back in the day, but what happened to him after all these injuries?
Yeah.
And also, they traded for Alex Faedo. They lost Jose Siri to the Mets. They lost Jeffrey Springs. He's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Carlson to the Orioles, I meant. And Tyler Alexander to the Brewers.
Yep.
They didn't do much this offseason. For a team that wants to stay competing, I can't see this team being a 5th seed. I can't. Let me go to the Rays team. This team is not good. Do you agree with me, Max? This team's not
I do agree. It's the roster isn't the most, it's not the best on paper. I'll tell you that.
Only best player that I think on the team is Shane Baz, but he's not that good. What's his face? Drew Rasmussen was not that bad, but he's not a bad prospect, but he was not that good in the MLB.
Yeah.
Brandon Lau, I don't know. He's not good. Could you see this team not good? Could you see this team? I think they'd be under 500 this year. What's up, Rob?
Yeah, it wouldn't stun me if they were under 500.
I'm not going to tell you my predictions, but this team playing a minor league ballpark, that might only thing that might help this team.
Yeah.
But if they can't hit, if they can't score, the Tampa Bay Rays.
I want to look at their starting rotation. They're going to get Shane McClanahan back this year. You have Drew Rasmussen, Zach Littell, Ryan Pepio, and Taj Bradley. There's a lot of young promise in that rotation, though. I will say, and with the way they develop, I think the rotation will actually be decent this year. The bullpen, they have a couple decent arms, and when you see it in Pete Fairbanks, but there's a lot of questions after that. Nothing really set in stone. And the lineup, like you said, just isn't. It's not solidified right now. You have Danny Jansen, who's meh. Yandy Diaz and Brandon Lau are decent. Diaz is coming off a bit of a down year. Not a bad season, but a bit of a down year compared to the past few seasons. And it is a tough division. They do have Junior Caminero, who's could be a future superstar. But then you have Ha-Seong Kim, who's coming off injury. And then the outfield is kind of rough. Josh Lowe is inconsistent. Same with Morel. He's boomer bust. And Johnny DeLuca is a bench player. And their DH spot is Jonathan Aranda, who's okay. I mean...
But yeah, you agree with what I'm trying to say here. This team is not good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tampa Bay fans, but they don't have anyone to go around this team. Like, only best player on their team is McClanahan.
I mean, if this was the Tigers, Kenny would be gassing them up.
2019 was a bad year.
I know. But I don't think this team is 2019 roster bad. Tigers roster bad.
But they're like, I don't know. I'd say 2021 roster bad.
Yeah.
Tigers bad. Could you say that?
Yeah.
2021 Tigers were not that good. What was their record in 2021? 77 and 85. That was their record in that year. Maybe it's more like, this is a better record. 2022 roster bad. 66 and 96. Is that a better team?
66 and 96?
That was Tigers back in 2022.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, that's what I'm thinking the Rays is going to be.
Oh, we'll see. I don't know if they'll be that bad. They have the pitching to win some games, but I mean the lineup isn't going to hit enough. I don't think. Like they'll win 70-something games, but we'll see.
But yeah, let's go over to the Red Sox. They have a very interesting offseason. What's up, Daniel? Oh yeah, you want to go with the Red Sox team?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go into the Red Sox. As the Red Sox, they had a big offseason. So that's one team that was very active this offseason. No, Craig Breslow made it pretty well known that they were going to make moves this offseason. That's exactly what they did. So a couple of the names they made a big trade with the Chicago White Sox. They added Garrett Crochet. They traded a few solid prospects in Kyle Teal, Braden Montgomery, and others to get him. They signed Alex Bregman to that 3-year deal. I think it was $40 million per year. That was insane. Like, and that came on late. Yeah. They brought in Walker Buehler on a 1-year, $20 million deal, I believe, which makes sense. I mean, because starting pitchers are going to get paid a lot, but $20 million for Walker Buehler coming off Tommy John, and he was terrible last year. I know he was solid in the playoffs, but it's like I would have paid him $15 million, but that's just me. And then you have Aroldis Chapman and Patrick Sandoval. They added Sandoval will be a bullpen / depth arm coming off Tommy John. Chapman he'll contend to be for the closer spot for the Red Sox. You have Justin Wilson, another reliever, Giovanni Moran. They traded for him with the Twins in a minor trade. They traded for Carlos Narvaez in a minor trade, and a couple minor league deals for relievers. They added Adam Ottavino and Matt Moore. So they solidified.
I like their offseason.
Yeah, they did lose Tyler O'Neill to the Orioles, who was very solid for them last year in their lineup. What's going on, Zion?
What's up, Zion? How's your baby? They just had a baby this past week.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so they did lose their closer, Kenley Jansen, to the Angels. They lost Danny Jansen, but I don't think they're too worried about that. They lost Chris Martin to the Rangers reliever, another reliever they acquired at the deadline last year, Lucas Sims, and then they went out and lost Nick Pivetta, but they will get a draft pick for Nick Pivetta as he had the qualifying offer pinned to his name, so the Padres will have to give up a draft pick to the Boston Red Sox for that. So they do get something in return there, but nonetheless,
I think the Red Sox had a really good offseason.
I do too. I think they're trying to make their mark in the AL East. They're going to be one of the better teams. But let's look at their depth chart real quick. So the rotation, it looks good on paper. You have Garrett Crochet, you have Tanner Houck, who really broke out last year. He did struggle in the second half of the season, but that was probably more fatigue than anything. They signed Walker Buehler, of course. They have Brian Bayo, who's still developing, one former top prospect. You have Lucas Giolito. Lucas Giolito is hurt. He might start the season on the IL again.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah. And then you have Cutter Crawford, though, who can step in. He was okay last year. Started off strong. He did fade as the season went on, but he's another option. So the rotation's looking solid. I mean, you have a really solid 1-2 punch with Crochet and Houck, and then Walker Buehler. If he lives up to that potential again, that could be a dangerous 1-2-3. So
I think the team's not that bad. I think it's a really good team.
Yeah, and then in the bullpen, you have Liam Hendricks, who could be the closer. They signed him last year, I believe, but he didn't pitch this year due to Tommy John. And they brought in Aroldis Chapman to be a possible setup man. And then you have Justin Slayton, who might be one of the more underrated relievers in the game. He put up a 2.93 ERA last year, 55 innings. And then you have Garrett Whitlock, who's always been injured, but they're hoping he can stay healthy. And obviously they have a couple guys they signed to minor league deals, such as Ottavino and Wilson. But then let's look at the lineup real quick.
Their lineup is not that bad.
Yeah, they have Rafael Devers leading the lineup. They obviously signed Alex Bregman. They have one of the more underrated players in the game in Jarren Duran, one of the better defenders. Came on really strong offensively last year. He had some of the highest wins above replacement in the game last year. He had an 8.34 OPS, hit 285, 21 home runs with the plus defense. I think he won a Gold Glove last year too.
I remember for the longest time, Rob wanted Jarren Duran on the Tigers. Yeah. Remember that, Rob?
Yeah, I remember a lot of Red Sox fans wanted him traded before last season, but then he finally broke out. Yeah, he wasn't a Gold Glover, but he was all MLB second team last year. So, and
that's not bad either.
Yeah, you have Wilyer Abreu, who had a really underrated rookie year last year, although he is hurt right now. So, that's something to monitor. They still have Masataka Yoshida, but he's really been inconsistent for them, and he might start on the bench. But then you have Trevor Story. Can he stay healthy? That's going to be a big question. You have David Hamilton at second base. He's not a great hitter, but he's going to steal a lot of bases for you. And then,
when do you think they're going to use Marcel Meyer?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how he's been doing in the minors, but he can make an impact.
I just remember when they drafted him.
Yeah, if he comes up, they'll probably put Trevor Story at second base. So that would be interesting. But yeah, and they have Vaughn Grissom too, a former top prospect on the bench too, still has some upside. They got him in the Chris Sale trade. So they have they got a bunch of intriguing pieces on their team, plus talent. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Red Sox play this year. I think there's a lot to like there.
When I was watching the Red Sox last year, for a second I was like, who all are these people? I did not know who's on the team.
Yeah. Except
Jaron Durant. That's the only guy I knew. When the Tigers played the Red Sox last year, I was like, who all are these people?
Yeah. But the Red Sox, another thing about the Red Sox, they do have one of the better managers in the game too, in Alex Cora, so that should definitely help.
Yeah.
So, he was expected to leave. He was expected to leave after last season, but he signed an extension.
I think we covered everything we needed. Let's go over to Baltimore Orioles. How do you say their name again?
Baltimore Orioles.
Orioles. That's a hard name to say sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, they still have a free agent, James McCann, but that's fine. They acquired Tyler O'Neill, Tobashiki Yorgondo. How do you say his name?
Who?
Tomasiki Yorgoto.
Tomoyuki Sugano.
That's a hard name to say.
Yeah.
Gary Sanchez, Charlie Morton, Andrew Kittredge, Dylan Carlson, and Ramon Laureano. Not a bad offseason. I like their moves. Kyle O'Neill, not bad. Gary Sanchez, maybe like 5-6 years ago was good, but each your own,
Yeah, the
Charlie Morton's okay.
Yeah, Sox 87 and 90 wins feels right. AL East is going to be
Dylan Carlson's not bad. Kyle O'Neill was like 5-6 years ago. They're not bad.
I mean, Tyler O'Neill was pretty good last year. He kind of served.
I'm just saying, like 3-4 years ago, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But they lost Corbin Burns, Anthony Santander, Eloy Jimenez, John Means, Austin Slater, Danny Colome, and Jacob Webb. Losing Burns was huge. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah, that was massive. That's a massive loss. The Orioles. I mean,
I'm like, I don't know. Why would you get rid of him?
Yeah, I don't know about Dylan Carlson. I mean, there's still something there, but I don't know. The problem with him, he's not very strong. I mean, he had 18 homers a few years ago, but he really just hasn't shown any pop outside of that season. So, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. But overall, what do you think about this team on paper?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm very skeptical of the Baltimore Orioles this season. That rotation is it's really underwhelming. You have Grayson Rodriguez, but he's hurt again. You have Zach Eflin, who's going to be the opening day starter. You have Charlie Morton, who's old, really old. He's like 42. Yeah, he's going to be 42. Dean Kremer is going to be one of your better starters. He's like a fifth starter type. You have Sagano, who really didn't light it up in Japan or wherever he was. You have Cade Povich, talent, but a lot of hard contact he allows. And then you have Trevor Rogers. It just didn't work out there. You have Kyle Bradish, too, who's pretty good. He can be one of the better pitchers in baseball when healthy, but the problem is, can he stay healthy? It's just a lot of question marks in that rotation. The bullpen, I will say, I think the bullpen's pretty good. You have Felix Bautista as the closer. You have Yainer Cano as a good setup man. You have Sir Anthony Dominguez they acquired at the deadline last year, who turned out to be pretty solid for them. You have Kit Ridge, but he's going to be out a while due to injury. They signed him in the offseason. And then you got some solid guys here like Sinel Perez, Keegan Aiken, Gregory Soto. No stars there, but solid relievers who can fill a bullpen. I think the bullpen's decent, but the lineup still has a lot of upside. You know, you have Gunnar Henderson, who's a star. Adley Rushman, he's going to have to get better.
Adley. I love Adley. I love that guy. He's really good.
He was not that good last year, I'll be honest, Kenny.
But I'm saying, like, overall.
Their offense will be elite. Bullpen will be all right. Yeah. They do lose Santander, though, who was a massive power bat for that offense, though, and helped with protection in the lineup. You have Jackson Holiday, who should take a step forward this year. You have Jordan Westberg, who's a solid hitter, has a bit of ceiling, but you know, a borderline all-star hitter is what he can be. Probably won't be a superstar though, but pretty good, solid hitter like a Jake Cronenworth type. And then you have Tyler O'Neill, who they added. You have Cedric Mullins in center, who I'm surprised they didn't trade because you still have Heston Kjerstad, who needs an opportunity. And then you have Colton Cowser in right field, who showed a lot of upside last year, showed some pop in that bat at 24 home runs, a 7.68 OPS. Has a lot of swing and miss, though. But then you have Ryan O'Hearn at DH. You have Ryan Mountcastle still. Like Kenny said, Gary Sanchez. Lineup's good. Bullpen's good. Rotation is probably one of the weaker in the American League.
I like Gary Sanchez.
Yeah.
He's not that bad.
I guess.
Or is he? Where was Gary Sanchez last year?
He was with the Brewers, I think.
Oh, yeah. Brew Crew. But yeah, overall, I think this team is not bad. But I'll let you know my predictions when we get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go over to the AL Championship champions, the New York Yankees.
Yeah, so we'll go over the New York Yankees, and they're going to be one of the more interesting teams we talk about today.
I know. It's like, it's going to be a weird – they had a weird offseason.
Yeah, so let's look at their moves first, you know, see what they did this offseason.
The free agents still Anthony Rizzo and Alex Verdugo are still free agents.
Yeah, they're still free agents. But looking at the guys they acquired Max Fried from the Atlanta Braves, and they signed him, not acquired, but signed. You know, 8-year deal. They gave him a bunch of money. You know, they gave him a massive contract. Nobody was going to outbid them for him. They were destined to land him. They acquired Devin Williams in a trade. That was a big trade during the winter meetings. They were able to obtain him for Nestor Cortez, who they traded to Milwaukee. And then outside of that, you have Cody Bellinger. They traded for him. They took on his contract. Definitely skeptical about that one. They signed Paul Goldschmidt to a 1-year deal. We'll see how much he has left in the tank. They re-signed Jonathan Loaizaga. They acquired Fernando Cruz, strikeout guy for their bullpen. They re-signed Tim Hill, who had some good moments in the playoffs. They acquired Alex Jackson as a depth piece in their catching spot. Then they got a couple minor leaguers in Carlos Carrasco and Tyler Matzik.
Your boy.
Yep. Cookie.
That's your boy.
Yankees now, the terrorist Yankees.
I'm sorry, Max.
I know.
You'll get him back. Don't worry, you'll get him back someday.
But obviously, the Yankees, looking at their subtractions, you know, they probably have the most notable one of this offseason. They lost Juan Soto to the New York Mets. So he's on the other side of the Subway Series now, which is definitely interesting. And then you now have they lost Gleyber Torres to the Detroit Tigers. And then Clay Holmes, they lost to the Mets, who's actually going to be the opening day starter for the Mets.
What?
Interesting one. Yeah, it was announced today. Clay Holmes will be the opening day starter for the New York Mets. Yeah, they could be quite good. It depends on if they can stay healthy, though. That's going to be the big question for the Yankees, Rob. So, and then they made a couple. They lost a few guys. Tommy Kahnle to the Tigers as well, and John Birdie, Tim Meza. They traded Jose Trevino. That was the Fernando Cruz and Jose Trevino trade. So that happened, and then they went out and obviously traded Cody Poteet as part of the Cody Bellinger trade. So.
Overall, I think they had not a great offseason.
Yeah.
But solid offseason.
Now, looking at the rotation, you have Garrett Cole, but he's obviously done. You know, the news coming out that he's getting Tommy John.
Out for the year.
That's a big blow to the Yankees. So it'll be interesting to see if they add another starting pitcher before the season starts. Maybe a Kyle Gibson is on their radar. You know.
I can see that.
Who else? I mean, you got Carlos Rodon in the rotation. I think he was announced as the opening day starter today for the Yankees. So you got him. You have Max Fried. Luis Heel's hurt too. That's another guy that's injured. And then you have Marcus Stroman, who's caused some drama this offseason. He struggled in spring at times. And they have Clark Schmidt, who's solid, but he's coming off injuries. So this Yankees rotation, it looks good on paper, but there's a lot of injury concerns with it, and whether a couple guys can really stay consistent like Marcus Stroman, you know. But there's potential there. Division player.
But yeah, overall, I think their team is not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to say right now. It's got to say something about this team, about this team or the Yankees. What would you say about them? Are you optimistic? Or are you like, what's happening?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say what's happening, but they do have the talent to win. They still probably have the most complete team in the American League. So not American League. I don't know about the American League. Maybe the American League, but in the American League East for sure, in my opinion. You know, the Red Sox are coming for them, but I still think we'll have to see it play out on the field with the Red Sox. But yeah.
How do you feel about Goldie there?
Goldie is an interesting one. He didn't have a great year last year, but maybe he still has some left in the tank. A couple years ago, we were saying he was washed. And next year, he wins MVP. So maybe he breaks out again. So, you know, never know there.
We'll find out real soon.
We will find out.
Yeah, let's go over to me and Max's personal favorite divisions, the AL Central. Let me go over the White Sox offseason. This is we had a very interesting offseason, Max.
Mm-hmm.
The White Sox did.
I knew it would be interesting because it's the White Sox. So, yeah.
But yeah, let me go over it. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Because yours is kind of like a robot for me.
Really?
Yeah. You sound like a beep. You sound like it's cutting out a little bit.
So
let me leave the place. Let me leave it, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. Win 55 to 60 games. Yeah. I don't know. It might be less than that. They can't get any worse than last year, so they're gonna improve this year. But is it really going to be an improvement? Like 45 wins is an improvement. That rotation stinks.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm back. Let me do the White Sox.
Okay.
It sounds a lot better. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Martin Perez. They signed Martin Perez, Austin Slater, Mike Hoffman, Bryce Wilson, Josh Rojas, Michael A. Taylor. They traded for Tyler Gilbert and Matt Tasic. I don't know. Tice. Yes. They lost Garrett Crochet to the Red Sox. You already talked about that.
Yeah.
Michael Soroka to the Nationals and Johan Moncada to the Angels.
Yeah.
This team is very interesting. What do you think, Max?
Yeah, it's interestingly bad. That's what I think. So
yes,
I'm not expecting anything from the Chicago White Sox this year.
Why did they basically trade everyone?
They're rebuilding. They do have a really good farm system, but it's going to take some time to get those guys into the mold. So, yeah.
Tigers is better.
Well, yeah. I mean, who isn't better than the White Sox?
No, they're bullpen. They're not bullpen, but they're farm system.
Oh.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you went over that. Yeah, this lineup is not good. I mean, your best hitters are going to be Luis Robert, who I have no idea why they haven't traded yet.
He's going to be traded by the deadline. Don't worry.
I hope so. And then you have Andrew Benintendi, who came on a little bit last year, but he's still not great. That contract is kind of, whatever. He had 20 home runs out of nowhere last year. I mean, he had like 3 home runs 2 years ago, and now 20. I mean, he's probably yeah. He was probably in effort mode because he's on the White Sox, so he doesn't care if he hits for power or not.
They also have Corey Lee.
I'm not impressed.
Don't know why I know Corey Lee, but
yeah, Corey Lee, generational talent.
Hey, I don't even know why I know Corey Lee, but it happens.
Yeah,
Mike Tauchman's not a bad move.
They still have Andrew Vaughn, but he's been inconsistent. He owns the Guardians, though.
Hey, why not?
We stunk against the White Sox last year. It was so weird.
That's your own problem, Max.
Oh, problem. We won the division, bruh. So cope.
Hey, you're crazy.
Crazy. All right. Yeah, the White Sox are bad. I think we kind of know that. I think we know what we're getting. I mean, their closer is projected to be Justin Anderson. I don't even know who that is. That's very sad.
Hey, Max, I'm Justin Anderson. Just to let you know, I'm him.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to pitch.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tommy John.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Let's move on. I think the Minnesota Twins are next.
Yes, they are.
Okay, so we'll go into the Minnesota Twins. Anthony DeSclafani's still a free agent for them. I didn't even know that, but yeah, let's move on.
I forgot he's still in the MLB.
Yeah, he had some injuries. He actually hit a peak, but he just couldn't stay healthy. He had Tommy John, I think. Everything went downhill from there. But let's look. They had a very quiet offseason. They had a tight budget. They added a few guys. They added Harrison Bader for like $6 million in their outfield. They added Ty France to a short-term 1-year deal. They added a decent reliever in Danny Colombi, who the Orioles let go. So those were their additions, and they lost Kyle Farmer. They lost Max Kepler, who had been there since, I think, 2016. So they lose him, the former daddy of Trevor Bauer. So then they lost Carlos Santana, of course. Hey. Caleb Thielbar's on the Cubs now. I didn't even know that. I missed that one. And then they lost Giovanni Moran, who we talked about earlier with the Red Sox. So pretty quiet offseason overall for them. Kenny, is it just me? Is your screen really blurry?
I might be in a little bit of my Wi-Fi having problems.
Yeah. Same last year, feels like. Yeah. I mean, the Twins, I'm not sure what to expect from them.
I can't help with the Wi-Fi. It's college Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Can you see me now?
The Twins will. Yeah, I think the Twins will be one of the more unpredictable teams this year. So they do have some talent in the rotation, though. They have Pablo Lopez, who had a bit of a down year last year, but has some of the best strikeout stuff in the game. And even in his down year, he still struck out 198, so that's pretty decent. You have Bailey Ober, still pretty good. You have Joe Ryan, 2 pretty solid early pitchers, but then the 4th and 5th spots is where it gets rough. You have Chris Paddock coming off injuries, who struggled. You have Simeon Woods Richardson, who isn't really a big swing and miss guy. He gets hit hard. You have David Festa, who struggled early on. Zebby Matthews, another top prospect that's kind of struggled early on. So those guys could definitely come on this year, but sorry. But then you have.
Well, yeah. What about Griffin Jacks?
Griffin Jacks, they were talking about moving him a starter, but he's going to stick at reliever. Could be the closer, but I think it'll still be Juwan Duran. And then the bullpen's okay. Danny Colombi's a really nice addition. Cole Sands has some good stuff. Brock Stewart will be interesting, but I don't think bullpen's terrible, but I don't think it has a ton of depth. It's more like top heavy than anything.
But yeah, their catchers are Christian Vasquez and Ryan Jeffers. That's not bad.
Yeah, Jeffers is pretty good. Does strike out a bit though. But then you have, at first base, Ty France and Jose Miranda. That's not too bad. And then you have Edward Julian, who struggled in the majors. You have Brooks Lee, who could make an impact for them this year. Still developing. You have Matt Warner, who might be like a top 3 hitter in that lineup. Alongside Royce Lewis and Carlos Correa, which is crazy to say. But then you have them, and then you have Trevor Larnach, who's okay. Byron Buxton can't stay healthy, inconsistent, swing and miss stuff. The lineup is gonna. I'm not sure. The lineup has pieces, but it's a far from a foregone conclusion. It'll be a really good lineup.
What do you think about Carlos Correa coming back?
What's that?
What do you think about Carlos Correa coming back to the Twins?
I don't know. I mean, he had an injury last year, and he kind of slowed down after that. So I wonder if that affects him going forward, which it could. But the Twins.
I've been hearing from people thinking that the Twins might be a good team this year.
They might be. They're very unpredictable though, because they have the potential to be really good, but they also have the potential to be really mediocre. So,
because I've been hearing a lot of people saying that Twins might be better than like the other teams in the division, like the Tigers,
yeah,
Royals. But why are people saying that?
Saying what?
That the Twins might be better, might be really good this year. I don't get it.
I think it's because of the past, not this year, but the years before. They were still pretty solid, and they still have a knack for developing a few guys. Especially at the starting pitching level. If they can get another pitcher in there along with a top 3, it could be interesting.
But yeah, overall, I think Michigan's winning 35-28, but overall, I think this team could be really good, but they need to be really healthy this year. Be really. You agree with me, Max?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's go over my personal favorite, the Detroit Tigers. Go get them, Detroit Tigers. We're gonna go over what we acquired this offseason. We acquired Jack Flaherty, Gabriel Torres, Alex Cobb, Tommy Kaling, John Brivia, Jose Coena. How do you say his name?
Jose who? I don't know. I don't know him.
Urquidy.
Oh, Jose Urquidy. Yeah, Jose Urquidy. I thought you were talking about somebody else.
Sorry. Urquidy. And Andrew Chafin to a minor league deal. The player they lost is Alex Faedo. I say, on paper, by looking at this free agent, we have gotten better over worse. Let's go over to the team. Let me take over this team, okay, Max? Give me 2 seconds. I'm ready. Our rotation's phenomenal. Having Cy Young pitcher Tarek Skubal, then Flaherty at number 2. I think Reese Olson at 3. 4, it's gonna be maybe Casey Mize, and 5 probably what's his name? Jackson Jobe, or maybe Alex Cobb when he comes back. That's a nasty starting pitching. Do you agree?
I mean, it's decent, but Alex Cobb, you overpaid him. He can't stay healthy. I don't know if he'll be much of a factor. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm talking about, what about the top 4?
Well, you have Skubal and Flaherty who are pretty good. Jackson Jobe is still improving.
What about Mize? He's looking really good this offseason, this spring training.
I'm still skeptical of Mize. He has no strikeout stuff. To be honest.
Okay. Whatever you say.
I mean,
yeah.
I like Reese Olson though.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think Cobb's going to be a bullpen guy. He's making $15 million this year. They'll try to start him when he gets back. At least that's what I think. I could be wrong.
But yeah, our catcher is Dylan Dingler and Jake Rogers. Dylan Dingler scored a home run today.
Jesus Christ, can't cry.
And Jake Rogers, he can rank. He's pretty good. Jake Rogers is pretty good. And we have come back from his injury, Javier Baez, Andy Ibanez, Jace Young. We're kind of skeptical about him. Cole Keith has not been showing that much fire in spring training, but he's doing not bad. Ryan Kreidler scored a home run today. Zach McKinstry is having a rough off spring training, I'm pretty sure. Trace Winnie, he was really good at the end of the season when we called him up. Really good. Then Spencer Torkelson's playing phenomenal during spring training this year. Am I right, Max? Not Max. Rob. And Gleyber Torres, I'm happy we signed him as second baseman that we really needed. Our outfield is looking really good right now. Terry Carpenter, a.k.a. Terry Bond. Riley Green, he's really good.
Oh, the money blow. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'd be spending $30 million on two relievers that aren't typically true relievers. What's that, Kenny?
Riley Green is really good. Parker Meadows is pretty good.
Yeah.
When he gets healthy, he's gonna be really good for us.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Fielding is doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I say this team might be a really good team. They did not lose anyone. They got better, I think, over what they had last year at the end. What do you think, Max?
Yeah, I do think they got better. I think can they keep up the success that they had late season last year? Was it a fluke? Was it something that they're going to build off this year? I think that's the main question for the Detroit Tigers coming into the season. So
they have the top farm team in the MLB.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about success now. I mean, that's going to be later on down the road. Those guys, some of those guys.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Two pitchers, Olsen and Joe, who only pitched 5 innings roughly due to age, need two pick. I'm not saying it's smart.
I mean, Maeda will stay in the bullpen. I know that, but I'm just skeptical that Cobb will be a reliever. But perhaps maybe he will be, depending on how the rotation looks when it comes back. So,
but yeah, I think this team's gonna be really good. I'll tell you when we do our predictions later.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go over to the Royals. What do you think about the Royals offseason, Max?
Well, it looks like I'll be doing 2 teams in a row now because there's the Royals and the Guardians. So
I'll just do 2 teams in a row later.
Okay. All right. So with the Kansas City Royals, you have they still have a couple free agents in Robbie Grossman and Will Smith, but I don't think that really matters that much at this point. So they got that going for them. And then they acquired Jonathan India in a big trade. And then they signed Carlos Estevez to a 2-year deal. They re-signed Michael Lorenzen to a 1-year deal. Kent State just lost Kenny. Sorry for the delay.
I'm sorry, Max.
I know. But then you have Joey Weimer, who was part of the trade. So, yeah, those were their acquisitions. Not an insanely busy offseason, but they did have that one trade. And then they lost Brady Singer as part of that trade, a piece in the rotation. And then they signed a few guys. They didn't sign, but they lost a few guys that were signed like to mini deals like Adam Frazier, Tommy Pham, Paul DeYoung, and Yuli Gurriel. Nothing major. So, not outside of that one trade, it was a quiet offseason for the Royals. So,
They are kind of scary, but I'm a little bit skeptical about this team coming up.
Yeah, looking at the rotation, you have Seth Lugo and Cole Reagans. I don't think Seth Lugo is doing what he did last year. You do still have Michael Wacha, who's been a consistent arm the last few years. Michael Lorenzen, who's a consistent contact first pitcher. Chris Bubich will be in the rotation this year, replacing Brady Singer. Has upside, former top prospect, has always been injured though. So they'll be interesting to monitor. You have in the bullpen, you have Lucas Urseg. He has nasty stuff. He'll be the closer. John Schreiber is pretty good. They signed Estevez, as their main signing this offseason. And then I forgot they got Estevez, but yeah. And then they, looking at the lineup, they have some guys. They have Salvi, Bobby Witt, Vinny. Those guys are leading the way. And then they acquired John.
What's it called? Bobby got hurt this past week a little bit. I remember.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be out long. I think he's fine.
Okay.
And then you have Hunter Renfroe, who they brought him back, I think, to a deal, and he's gonna, fill in that right field spot. You have MJ Melendez in left field, who's boomer bust, and you have Kyle Isbell in center field. Center field's more of a question mark. Maybe they give Joey Weimer a shot in there, and maybe a guy like Michael Massey sees time in the outfield with second baseman now being occupied. They're interesting. They could be really good or just really underwhelming. The Royals, I'm kind of, torn on them right now. But yeah. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, let's go to, the first place team in the AL Central from last season, the Cleveland Guardians. They had a really busy
I don't know,
offseason.
but this team is not that good. We can just move on.
Okay.
I'm just messing with you, Max.
Okay, so they had a busy offseason. They didn't get. I don't think the Guardians got better, but I don't think they got worse. So
you guys lost a lot of players,
yeah, but I mean, Andres Jimenez was just not good on offense. He was a liability on offense, and Josh Naylor was fat and didn't care. And
what about Josh Naylor?
He's not coming back in free agency, so get a draft pick for him. I don't know. So
you can't.
Okay, so they re-signed Austin Hedges. That wasn't surprising. He's their clubhouse leader. They brought back Shane Bieber. That was a pretty solid deal. He'll come back in around early July. They brought back Carlos Santana, the Clown Pants, for the third stint. Cleveland, 1-year deal worth $12 million to replace Josh Naylor. Much better defender than Josh Naylor. Hope you know that. And then they brought in Paul Sewald, which was a really head-scratching one. Solid reliever, but it's like you have funds here. Why not just use it on like an Anthony Santander? Why are you using it on a reliever when the bullpen is already fully loaded? That made no sense to me. But then they brought in John Means on a 2-year deal. He'll probably won't pitch much this year. It's a 1-year deal actually, but there's a team option next year for $7 million. So it's more like a 2-year deal. And then they brought in Jacob Junis on a 1-year deal. He's going to be the new long reliever. He's replacing Pedro Avila. He has potential to start, but he's going to be a reliever more likely for us. And then you have Slade Ciccone.
Why'd you get rid of Eli Morgan?
I don't know. I mean, we have enough relievers. Somebody had to be the odd man out.
Nah.
It was him. I mean, we could have sent him onto the Detroit Tigers, and he could have been Kenny's acting like he's so good. Then why isn't he on the Tigers starting opening day?
Eli Morgan is going to be playing in Tokyo next week.
That Cade Smith fastball is invisible, so watch out. Tony, maybe Massey Perez perhaps. Yeah, Michael Massey's a Kauffman Stadium merchant. Same with MJ Melendez. Okay, Bubba.
I know that guy. He's funny.
All right, so the guys they did lose, they lost Matthew Boyd, who made a big impact for them. That's going to be a big loss for the Guardians. That's a tough one. They lost Alex Cobb, who got overpaid like crazy by the Detroit Tigers. And then you have Andre Sandlin, too. Eli Morgan, we traded him for some solid outfield prospect. Josh Naylor, we talked about that. And Miles Straw, another thing we talked about already. So, yeah, the Cleveland Guardians, let's look at their depth chart. And I will say,
hey, just let you know, this guy's talking nonsense. He doesn't know anything about Guardian. Just let you know.
So, I'm going to be honest. The rotation, you got Tanner Bybee. He'll start opening day. And Gavin Williams has been one of the better pitchers in spring training. He's going to break out. But outside of those two, the rotation is bad. It's a bad rotation. I'm going to say it. The Guardians, outside of their top two guys right now, in Gavin and Tanner, the rotation stinks. It stinks. You have Luis Ortiz. They acquired him from the Pirates. That was a like marquee not free agent, but like an acquisition for starting pitcher this year. And he was the Pirates' 6th starter. Like, is that all you can do? And he has a 12 ERA and 5 starts this spring. Like, he sucks. And then you have Ben Lively. He's not doing what he did last year. He was terrible in the second half. He's like a 5 ERA pitcher. And then you have Christian McKenzie, who he can't seem to get his head out of his you-know-what. Like, it's bad. The bottom 3 after those two is miserable. They're going to be relying on that bullpen again this year. I mean, you have Shane Bieber and John Means who will come back and provide some stability. But if they're still solid by the deadline, they're probably going to have to acquire a starting pitcher.
Alex Cobb will be ready for you. Alex Cobb will be ready for you.
Logan Allen and Slade Ciccone suck. I don't know.
If you need Alex Cobb, just let us know. We can trade him back to you.
Okay. We have Emmanuel Clase as the closer, best closer in the game. You have Cade Smith, who's one of the better relievers in the game. Good fastball. I don't think the Tigers are hitting that fastball. Again, yeah, Bieber's back. He'll be back. He won't be back until July, though. So it's going to be he won't be back until
Jason Foley's better. Jason Foley's better.
I mean, if you're drinking drugs right now, I mean, I would agree, but then you have Paul Sewald, who's decent. He'll have a better year this year, I think. Tim Herron, who was good last year. Andrew Walters, one of the best relievers in his draft. You have Eric Sabrowski, who's really good, but he's starting the year on the IL. You don't know what he might have to get Tommy John. That would suck.
Cleveland Guardians are not gonna win the Central this year. Just to let you know.
Joey Cantillo, Slade Ciccone, Jacob Junis, he'll be relievers. It's just but yeah. But the lineup is a question mark too. But a lot of people are going to look at the Guardians lineup and they're going to say, "Oh, the lineup I think is my biggest concern." No, as a diehard Guardians fan, the starting pitching is the biggest concern, and I don't even think it's close. So, looking at it, you have Austin Hedges.
If anyone can find Max Babe, let me know.
Yeah, you have Carlos Santana, who could replace Josh Naylor. I don't know how he's going to look on offense. That's going to be a question. It is an upgrade defensively, though. At second, it's a question mark. It's a battle between Gabriel Arias, Tyler Freeman, Juan Brito, Angel Martinez, and Daniel Schneemann. And quite frankly, I think Daniel Schneemann is winning that battle right now. So,
Big Santa's not that good.
Who?
Big Santa's not that good.
You have Jose Ramirez at third base, of course, best third baseman in the game. You have possible breakout candidate Brian Rosso at shortstop. He was a Gold Glove finalist last year, who had a really good postseason. You have Steven Kwan, you know what you're getting from him. Good contact hitter, showed some power last year. You have Lane Thomas in center field, who should be a decent presence in the lineup. And then you have Big Christmas in right field. He'll be boom or bust. And then at DH, who I believe is going to be an all-star hitter this year, Kyle Manzardo. Big fan. He's been absolutely outstanding this spring. He's hitting 500, I think 2-3 home runs and like 20 at-bats. So,
PSA, if anyone can find Max Abate, let me know. He's on something tonight.
I hope Santana smokes y'all. I remember in 2019, 2020. I mean, I know the Tigers weren't amazing, but Santana absolutely owned them. I mean, that was just, But yeah, the Guardians, rotation's a big question mark for me. I'm not overly worried about the lineup. I think the lineup will be okay. I think the lineup will be good, okay to good. But that rotation I think it's bad. I'm worried, and hopefully things get better by the start of the season, but I'm not optimistic there. Bullpen should still be lights out, though, so that's what gives me a bit of optimism.
But yeah, if anyone can find Max Abate, let me know. He's on something tonight. Okay. I'm worried about him because he's being crazy tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you. Okay, let's go to the AL West. I'll do the next one. That is the Angels of Anaheim. Okay, they acquired Yusei Kikuchi, Jorge Soler, Kenley Jansen, Travis Darnell, Kyle Henderson, Yoel Moncada, Kevin Newman, J.D. Davis and Tim Anderson. They lost Patrick Sandoval, Griffin Cannon, Matt Turry, I can't say his name, Eric Wegman, Matt Moore, and Kevin Pillar. If this team was back in 2019, this team would probably be the best team in the MLB. What do you think, Max?
Yeah, I think it would be pretty good, but it's the Angels, so they're cursed.
No, I'm talking about 2019.
I know, but I mean, the Angels are so cursed that I still think they would suck.
Are you serious with all these signings?
Yeah.
Okay, they finally got Mike Trout back. For how long?
Well, how long is he going to be back for? That's the question.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 days, 4 weeks.
10 minutes. 10 minutes
months.
is 10 minutes feels long. I mean, it should be like 2 seconds.
You know what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
Where is his name? Where is the Angels? When does the Cleveland Guardians play the Angels? Never mind, I found him. Don't worry. You have to play him in June, just to let you know. But yeah, their team is not that good. Hal Anderson's not bad. They also signed Kenley Jansen. I already said his name.
Yep.
How do you feel about Kenley Jansen back to the Angels? Max?
How do you say who?
Kenley Jansen.
I don't know. I mean, he'll be the closer this year. I don't think he'll be anything special at this point of his career.
Back in like 2025.
Mike Trout's a lock for the Hall of Fame, I think. You know, I think just because of the name more than anything.
Big Fish, they call him. Did they call him that?
I guess. I mean, his last name is a fish, so I would assume so.
I don't know.
All right, so
you can go over to Angels. Go.
Wait, I thought we already did the Angels.
Oh, what's his face is out for the year, basically. What's his face? Anthony
Rendon. Yeah, he don't care. Like, he's barely played. He only even played 2 full seasons since he got that contract. I mean,
hey, you got his money, and I'll be okay with that.
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not debating that. Kenny, you think Mike Trout's going to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I know the accomplishments, but I think based on name, like, they're going to put him in. That's just my prediction, you know. But yeah, you know.
But yeah. He has good money. Hey, Anthony Rendon got his money, and I'll be happy.
I mean, who else is in the Hall of Fame? There's a couple guys in the Hall of Fame. I can't remember. I don't know.
But yeah, do you think Joe Adell gonna be good this year?
I think Joe Adell is just a bust. He can't hit. Like, he strikes out way too much.
Oh boy. But yeah, what do you think about Travis d'Arnaud and Logan O'Hoppe?
O'Hoppe's still the starter. He's got a lot of potential. He's still young. d'Arnaud is a good backfill option, though. Cheap.
But yeah, you want to know who's the first series of the MLB season is going to be? White Sox versus Angels.
Really?
What do you think about that, Max?
Battle of below mid. That's what I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Trevor, I'll drag the Hall of Fame statement. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, this team's just bad.
Yeah, Trout's got a bunch of homers in his career.
When do you think Mike Trout's gonna leave Los Angeles?
I don't know if he's ever going to leave. To be honest, I think he might just stay there. He's getting paid big.
Will he ever ring a? Will he ever ring? Will he ever get a ring?
No, don't think so.
Is he going to be one of the greatest players without getting a ring?
Yeah, maybe. The only thing he's not like, or as Rob said, he's not like accomplished in playoffs and such. So that could hinder his status on greatest of all time or being up there. So
let's talk about the Athletics. You could talk about the Athletics without the.
The Athletics, they have no home right now.
I'm homeless. No.
If you see a homeless man across the street, just say Oakland A's, what's up? So then you have so Alex Wood is still a free agent. He stinks.
Yeah,
he was actually their opening day starter last year. So and nobody wants him.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What a shame.
They made some additions. You know what really irks me though? They waited until they left Oakland to make additions. So they signed Luis Severino.
Are you surprised?
I am surprised, but I had to do it or they were going to get grievances from the MLB. So yeah, let's go over. They also traded for Jeffrey Springs. They traded like Joe Boyle, who's not good at baseball. Terrible baseball player, by the way. Screwed me in fantasy when I picked him up in the waiver wire a couple times. He stinks. So yeah, they traded him for Jeffrey Springs. That was a good trade. They signed Gio Urshela, Tigers legend, to a 1-year deal. They signed Jose Leclerc to a 1-year deal. Good money. They signed Luis Urias and they re-signed TJ McFarland, who's a solid piece of their bullpen. So Oakland's going to be an easy one.
They lost Scott Alexander and Ross Stripling.
Yeah. Mid. And then the rotation, leading the rotation will be their signings and trade acquisitions, Luis Severino and Jeffrey Springs. And then it doesn't make any sense at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, why wait? So, and then you have JP Sears, he's, what you're getting from him, like fourth, fifth starter type stuff. Osvaldo Bido has good stuff, but he's older, late breakout guy. You have Joey Estes, who he has good stuff, but nobody I'm really looking forward to, I think outside of those two, the rotation really isn't all that pretty, but maybe there's upside.
Their bullpen's not bad with Mason Miller.
Yeah, Mason Miller, one of the better closers in the game. You got him back. You have Jose Leclerc, who will be a nice setup man. TJ McFarland, Grant Holman, Mitch Spence, Hogan Harris should be decent bullpen pieces. Brady Brasso too. And then you have at catcher Shea Langoliers, Tyler Soderstrom, who I think could break out this year at first base. You have Zach Geloff. Had a tough year last year, but had a really good rookie year. He just strikes out a lot. And then at third base, obviously, you have Gio Urshela filling that spot in. You have Jacob Wilson, who a lot of people are talking about, one of the better prospects in the game at shortstop. Made his debut last year, but got hurt, and we didn't get to really see him a lot after that. So, and then you have Miguel Andujar.
I miss Gio on the Tigers.
Who?
I actually do miss Gio a little bit on the Tigers.
Yeah, he played for Cleveland like 10 years ago. And then you have J.J. Bleday, who had a pretty good year at center field. And then at right field, you have Lawrence Butler, who a lot of people are talking about, who a lot of people think is one of the next young stars in the game. So you got him.
They signed to a really good contract.
I think it was 7 years, $66 million, cover his arbitration years and such. So, yeah, they are solid. And then you have Brent Rooker, who's obviously going to be their number one anchor in that offense. Brent Rooker, he was a, top former second-round pick by the Twins, just didn't really pan out early in his major league career. The A's last year, it's kind of like Adolis Garcia when the Rangers picked him up. They just picked him up off the waiver wire out of nowhere. They've been DFA'd, and they both really just broke out and turned into stars. So that's where we're at with those guys.
Who?
But, yeah, Brent Rooker.
Who?
Brent Rooker.
Brent Rooker, yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
So he is good. So
Esther Ruiz is pretty good.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of power though, but he can steal bases. But yeah, I mean the A's thing.
That's good for someone.
The only worry if there is one worry I have with the A's this year, it's they might be one of those teams where it's just got to go right. If it doesn't go right, it could be really bad. But if it does go right, it could be really promising. So they'll be a team to monitor this season. 2 years ago, yeah, they're not going to let him go now. I think he might be there forever. So, no.
But yeah, let's go over. But yeah, let's go over the 2023. 2023 World Series champions offseason. 1 second. So free agents Matt Duffy and David Robertson, they re-signed Nathan Eovaldi, Jock Peterson, Jake Berger, Kyle Higashria.
Who?
Kyle, the catcher.
What team are we talking about? I forgot.
Rangers.
Kyle? Their catcher's Jonah Heim. Oh, Kyle Higashioka.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Higashi. I can't say his name. His name's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris Martin, Jacob Webb, Hobie Milner, Sean Armstrong, Luke Jackson, Robert Garcia, Luis Carvino, and Kevin Plotter as a MLB minor league team, and they lost Nathaniel Lowe. I can't. Carson Kelly,
Nathaniel Lowe.
Nathaniel Lowe. Sorry about that.
Than Brandon Lowe. They could.
Grant. They're the same tight.
I know.
Grant Anderson, Jose Leclerc.
Grant Anderson is terrible.
Kirby Yates, Max Scherzer, Arania.
Yeah.
What do you think about this team?
They got a pretty good team. They got a really loaded team. The lineup is loaded. The starting rotation, I will say, could be better, but they still have 2 decent starters in Eovaldi and DeGrom. Howard Maui and John Gray are solid starters when healthy. Nothing special though. Then you got Kumar Rocker, who could possibly break out. Maybe even Jack Leiter gets better. So they'll be banking on those guys to get better. They're a team that I could see getting a good starter at the deadline though. Maybe even Dylan Cease if he becomes available later.
Alex Cobb.
But nobody's paying that contract.
Max.
It's trash.
I don't see Alex Cobb staying at the deadline. Staying after the deadline for the Tigers.
You're gonna have to give him a prospect to get that contract off the books.
It's only 1 year.
I know, but teams have a specific budget at the trade deadline, and I don't think they want to use their whole budget on Alex Cobb.
Sure, they do.
Why?
You guys did that last year.
Because N-Dog Sports said so.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm new GM of the MLB.
Okay.
But yeah, I think this team is pretty good. Max, this team is not bad.
Yeah.
On paper, I think this is going to be a really good team. If they all stay healthy. What do you think?
Yeah.
If they can all stay healthy, I think this team could be win the division. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think they have one of the best rosters in the American League. That lineup should hit. I do worry about the bullpen a little bit still, but I think in the pitching overall, but that lineup should hit. We should give them a lot of leeway.
So. They signed Jock Peterson this offseason. That's pretty good.
Yep, traded for Jake Berger.
Hey, I like Jake Berger. He has good burgers.
He does.
Ezekiel Duran.
Yeah.
Josh Jung is pretty good. Corey Seager and Marcus Simeon's really good.
Yeah.
Adolis Garcia is pretty good. Wyatt Langford is going to come on in second year. I think he's going to be really good as a player.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I think this team is really good.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, so let's move on to the Seattle Mariners, who had a pretty quiet offseason. They didn't have a tight. They had a pretty tight budget coming in the offseason. They didn't do a lot, so
Why not?
ownership. They don't care. Okay,
They should just
so
leave Seattle.
yeah, I guess. So the acquisitions they made this year, they only made two. They signed Donovan Solano to a 1-year deal. That's going to help the lineup. They traded for Miles Mastrobuoni from the Cubs.
Yay!
And then they re-signed Jorge Polanco to a 1-year deal. And then they lost Yimi Garcia, Josh Rojas, Luis Urias, and Justin Turner to the Cubs. And when they asked Justin Turner why didn't the Mariners do more this offseason and why didn't they keep him, he was like, he pretty much blamed ownership. So,
Fair enough.
But the Mariners, they're an interesting one because that starting rotation is lethal. It's probably the best in baseball. I mean, maybe the Dodgers are probably better, but they're close. They're top 5, 100%. You got Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo. They tried dangling him in trade talks. Nobody really wanted to pay that contract. They got George Kirby. Got Bryce Miller, which was surprising with Castillo. I feel like that's a good contract for a really good starter like him. Kind of surprised nobody went for it. And then, they have Brian Wu too. And Emerson Hancock is a good 6 option, who's a former top 5, top 6 pick a few years back.
Emerson Hancock is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good rotation there. But the bullpen's got some upside. You have Andres Munoz, really good closer. Trent Thornton can be a decent setup man, or Gregory Santos. But there's a lot of guys in here that Matt Brash is pretty good too. Can he stay healthy? That's the question with him. It's not a terrible bullpen, but it's nothing special. You're going to need some guys to stay healthy for it to be good.
But they still have Cal Raleigh.
Yeah, Kyle Raleigh's pretty good. A lot of people think he is the best catcher in baseball. You still have J-Rod, who kind of came around late last season. You have Randy Rosarena. They acquired him at the deadline last year. He had a bit of a down year last year. They're hoping he can, reaffirm himself as a solid hitter. So
JP Crossford is really good.
He's okay.
JP
if Jorge Polanco, who I think is decent. Jorge Polanco, didn't have a great year last year, but was playing through a torn labrum, so he'll be healed. You have Luke Raley, who's probably one of the more underrated hitters on that team. And second base, you got Dylan Moore.
Mitch Haniger is still there. He's
Haniger and Mitch Garver, vets that are just kind of whatever at this point. And then you have Victor Robles, who had a good year last year, but he's been inconsistent his whole career. So the Mariners, I have some questions about them. I said J-Rod that, he's back.
You think Julio's going to be good?
I think he'll have a better year, yeah. The only issue is he won't have a lot of protection in that lineup, so.
Nope.
Outside of the starting rotation, I am a bit skeptical in the Mariners. I didn't love their manager hire, too. They hired Dan Wilson, who was an interim. Didn't love that, so. I don't know about the Mariners. They don't give me a lot of confidence, but, So move on from them.
The last team in the AL is the Houston Astros. They acquires Christian Walker, Isak Paredes, Hayden Wesniewski, Ben Gamel, and Brendan Rodgers. They lost Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Yusei Kikuchi, Justin Verlander, Ryan Presley, Caleb Ferguson, Jason Hayward, Kendall Graveman, and Jose Requena.
Yeah.
What do you think about this offseason for the Ass Cheaters?
Let's look again. Where'd they go? Okay, there they are.
I don't know.
Yeah, they gave up. They lost some guys. They lost Tucker, Bregman, Kikuchi, Verlander, Presley. Some guys. I don't know. I mean, they lost a lot this offseason. I think they're just kind of not rebuilding, but retooling. They're moving Jose Altuve to left field. That'll be an interesting one.
I can see that.
You have Christian Walker. They did add him, pretty good player. They have Isak Paredes. We'll see if he can get better, but he does fit well because of the Crawford boxes. He should hit a bunch of homers there. You know, you have Hayden Wisniewski, who was part of that trade. Ben Gamble and Brendan Rodgers are just minor signings. So that's whatever. But let's look at the Astros depth chart. They do have the potential to be a very good team still. On the rotation, you still have Valdez and Brown leading the way. You have Ronel Blanco, who was pretty solid last year. You have Spencer Arrighetti. You know, he was inconsistent at times last year, but he is a very solid strikeout pitcher. He'll get a lot of strikeouts. If he can limit the hard contact, he could be a big factor in that rotation. And then you have Wisniewski, but he's probably going to be a reliever because you still have Christian Javier. He's coming out. He's going to be recovering from Tommy John. Not sure how much he'll pitch this year, but you have Lance McCullers coming back, Luis Garcia coming back. Those are guys that were very good for them until they got hurt. So there's a lot of depth there, but there's still questions. But yeah, I agree. So
I see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, you have in the bullpen, you have Josh Hader as closer. He'll do his thing. You have Brian Abreu, who's solid. Outside of that, there's guys that are okay, but nothing special. So I wonder about their bullpen depth. But let's go to their lineup. You have Yainer Diaz, former Guardians prospect. We traded him for Miles Straw. That was a pretty terrible trade.
I thought you liked that trade.
No. Hell no. And we have Christian Walker at first base. Now they needed a first baseman after the Jose Abreu debacle. Then you have Mauricio Dubon at second base. At third base, you have Isak Paredes. At short, you have Jeremy Pena, who's inconsistent. Abreu in left, of course. You have Jake Myers in center. Center's pretty weak. McCormick's okay, but he's going to be in right field. He was optioned last year. He's going to be 30 years old. And then you have Yordan Alvarez at DH. I don't know. I mean, Yordan Alvarez will be good again, but, you know, there's a lot of question marks in this lineup still. I wonder if Pena can hit well. You know, McCormick and Myers are kind of whatever at this point. They're just, you know, borderline major league starters. And then you have Dubon, who's a good defender, but that's pretty much it. So he can steal some bases, I think. I only had 3 stolen bases. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know. They're wait and see to me. You know, we'll see. They lose a ton of time.
But the Angels are not bad. Not Angels. Astros are not bad. But yeah, overall, do you think we should go over to the NL Central? NL East?
Yeah.
Let's go to the Marlins. The Marlins, I'll go with this one because we can just, what's it called?
Yeah.
They acquire Cal Quantrill, Eric Wegman, and Matt Marvis. They lost Jesus Luzardo and Jake Berger. Yeah, they did nothing. Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, they have.
Am I right, Matt?
Yeah, they had a poor off season. Not much.
Astros are pretty good, Barrett.
Yeah.
Right, Max?
Yeah.
Yeah. Marlins did nothing. They have no one on the team. Their ownership is not good. What do you think, Max?
No. Yeah, I mean, rotation, there's guys with upside. You have Sandy Alcantara. They do have some guys that have a lot of potential still, in my opinion. You have Ryan Weathers, Edward Cabrera, Max Meyer, Yuri Perez, but he's coming off Tommy John, Braxton Garrett, but he got hurt. There's some guys there, but overall, if it's that group, I don't know if they can stay healthy. And there's still a question mark whether those guys will actually pan out. I don't know.
Why does nobody wants to go play for Marlins? That's a big city.
I don't know. You know, I think the Marlins are just hesitant to spend. Yeah, I mean, The one thing I will say, I think their bullpen's pretty solid, though, compared to a lot of other teams. Declan Cronin, Anthony Bender, and Calvin Foucher are very solid relievers. Andrew Nardi's another guy that kind of had a solid year last year. They have some names there, but nobody that's a superstar. But I think a bullpen that can hold the fort. So
Connor Norby's going to be really good for them.
yeah. We'll see about him. I mean, I thought they won that trade for sure. That Trevor Rogers trade. So
yeah, but yeah. The Marlins did nothing this offseason. It's like
I mean, this line itself.
I think they're going to be the same team as last year. Move on.
Who do we got next?
Nationals.
We'll go with the Washington Nationals. Patrick Corbin, still a free agent, unsurprising. He has no movement left in his pitches anymore. He's cooked.
Is there any possibility that someone minor league team signs him?
Probably at some point if they have an injury. No. But
yeah.
Yeah, they acquired Nathaniel Lowe in a trade with the Rangers. They gave a reliever, Robert Garcia, to get him. They signed Mike Soroka, I still call him. He'll be in their starting rotation. You have Josh Bell. They brought back a Josh Bell Marfo. If you don't know what a Marfo is, it means you go back to the team you were used to play for. And then you have Trevor. Yeah, it's called a Marfo because there was this college basketball player named Kevin Marfo. He played for I can't remember what school it was. He played at Quinnipiac, and then he transferred. What's that?
We have passed the Twins, but we have not gone over the predictions yet. We just talked about who they acquired, and we have not passed the Brewers yet. They're coming up in the next 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. So what I was saying about what I was saying about a Marfo, it's when you go to a team that you used to play for and you go back. It's like so when he was in college, he played at Quinnipiac, and then he left. He transferred to Texas A&M, and then he transferred back to Quinnipiac. So they call it a Marfo. So
I like it.
That's what Josh Bell did. He went to the Nationals, and they got traded, left, and they went back to the Nationals. So that's called a Marfo. MARFO. So yeah. But looking at the Nationals, they also brought in Paul DeYoung, Ahmed Rosario, Jorge Lopez, Lucas Sims to 1-year deals. I don't know why teams still sign Ahmed Rosario. He sucks. And then they brought in from like the Japan League, whatever, Shinosuke Ogasawara. He'll be a reliever for them. Nothing special. And they re-signed Kyle Finnegan, was probably one of their better moves this offseason. They had a productive.
They're not a bad offseason.
They didn't really lose anything this offseason, though.
They're kind of like the Tigers this offseason, I feel like.
Yeah. You know, their rotation, Mackenzie Gore's probably the opening day starter. A lot of upside there, good stuff. Just got to limit the walks. And then you have Jake Irvin, who had a pretty good year last year. Kind of struggled down the stretch, though. You have Mike Soroka, who will be looking to be a starter again. Pitched really well down the stretch for the White Sox. And you have Trevor Williams, who's coming back, who pitched well before he got injured. And then you have Mitchell Parker, who's a good fifth starter. You know, you have DJ Hurst, too. You have Josiah Gray, could come back from injury. Decent, but gives up a lot of home runs. But DJ Hurst is good strikeout stuff. So I think that rotation has potential. I do. But we'll see. And then the bullpen, you have Kyle Finnegan. Derek Law is okay. He's inconsistent, though. Jorge Lopez, they'll hope for a bounce back from him. They don't have a lot in their bullpen, though. You have Lucas Sims, who is a decent addition, but they don't have a ton of guys on their 40-man who really fit in the bullpen. So they're going to need to maybe they add a guy or two on a minor league deal. So
okay,
but
yeah,
looking at the lineup, you know, they got Nathaniel Lowe. They have C.J. Abrams, who had an all-star year last year. James Wood and Dylan Cruz will be big pieces to their, you know, rebuild. You know, this is a team that's going to be ascending. I don't know if they can get there yet, but they're definitely ascending.
Yeah. Josh Bell's going to probably be their DH this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go over to the Mets. Mets free agent JD Martinez. I'm still surprised he's still a free agent, and Brooke Raley. Brooke Raley. They acquire Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Clay Holmes, Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas,
Oh, we haven't done the
AJ
Dodgers yet. We're on the NL East, Barrett.
I said the Mets. I said the Mets. Did I say the Mets?
Are you doing the
I
Mets
said
right
the
now?
Mets, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I'll just restart. They acquired Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Clay Holmes, Sean Manaea, to re-sign Sean Manaea. They acquire Frankie Montas, AJ Minter, Jesse Winker. They re-sign. They traded for Jose Siri, Ryan Starnak, Justin Hagman, Jared Young, Griffin Cannon, and Drew Smith. They re-signed. They lost Luis Severino, Jose Quintana, Harrison Bader, Adam Ottavino, Jose Iglesias, and Phil Maton. They had a very interesting offseason.
Yeah.
Bringing back what's his face? Bringing back Pete Alonso really helped for their team. They also acquire Juan Soto. That's a pretty good move. What do you think?
Yeah, Soto's obviously the big move. They got back Alonso, Clay Holmes, Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas, who's going to be injured, though. Who is injured? You have Jesse Winker there, he signed. They had a pretty good offseason. They're going to be one of the better teams in the MLB if everything turns out. The only worry is the starting rotation. They have injuries there, and it's still not great. Maybe they get another starter and trade, but yeah.
I think the rotation right now is what's the rotation right now, Maxwell?
I don't even know. I know it's Clay Holmes. You have Kodai Senga, but he's hurt. You have Clay Holmes. You have David Peterson. You have, I don't know.
Oh, Griffin Cannon.
Sean Manaea. Griffin Cannon.
Cody Chasika, Sean Manaea, Frankie Montas, Clay Holmes, Dave Peterson. Where do you see Griffin Cannon?
Senga and Montas are hurt, though. So,
what do you think about Griffin Cannon? Where's he going to be?
Sucks.
Really?
Yeah, he's terrible, Kenny.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yep.
But yeah, Tyrone Taylor, Jesse Winker, those two are not that bad.
Yeah, they definitely could win the East. All right, where are we at now?
Yeah, I think if the Mets stay healthy, they'll win the division.
We're at the Braves now. Okay, so the Atlanta Braves, Adam Duvall and Whit Merrifield are still free agents. They're older now, so that's not surprising. And then they didn't do a lot this offseason, but they made a couple notable signings. They signed Brian De La Cruz to a 1-year deal, and then they made a big move signing Jerickson Profile, who had a breakout year for the Padres this year, to a 3-year, $44 million deal, I believe it was. So they brought him in, and then they lost Max Fried. Jorge Soler, they traded him. That was like the first move of the offseason. They lost Darno to the Angels. They lost Charlie Moore Minter to the Mets, Gio Urshela to the A's, Ramon Laureano to the Orioles, John Brebbia to the Tigers, and Luke Jackson to the Rangers. They lost some marginal players like that outside of Fried and Soler. So let's look at their depth chart.
John Brebbia, you said?
Yeah.
Is he good or bad?
Chris Sale is going to be the anchor of the rotation again. He won the Cy Young. You have Ronaldo Lopez, who looked good as a starter last year. Spencer Schwellenbach, who should break out. One of the better breakout candidates this year, in my opinion. Grant Holmes, Ian Anderson, Spencer Strider, who will try to come back from injury. Bryce Elder, he's good depth. Had an all-star year a couple of years ago, but really faded and just hasn't been the same since. But, there's upside there. Ian Anderson could be good coming back from injury. Bullpen's pretty good. You have Rafael Iglesias, Pierce Johnson, Dylan Lee, Aaron Bummer, Buck Farmer, Angel Perdomo, Hector Neris, they signed Angel De Los Santos. There's guys in that bullpen. I think it's a pretty solid bullpen. The lineup, you have Sean Murphy, but he's injured once again. That trade really hasn't worked out overall for the Braves. He started off strong for the Braves, but he's been injured ever since. And then you have Matt Olson, who's good. You have Ozzie Albies, who's good. Riley, Arcia, who's okay. Nothing great, but okay. Profar, Harris, Kelenic in the outfield. Team once again. And then you have Marcell Ozuna. Like, that lineup is still going to be one of the better lineups in baseball. You know, the pitching's pretty good. I mean, this is one of the better rosters in baseball. What's going on, Isaiah? They're going to
What's up, Isaiah?
the Mets a run for their money. You know, one of 3 teams that will.
1 second, Max. You're going robot mode again.
How am I going robot mode?
1 second. Your sound is just like beep. Like your sound just being weird. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah. Right.
Talk now. You're better now. Sorry, you're just sounding like I just can't really hear you. Sorry.
It's all right.
But yeah, what do you think about the Braves?
I just went over the whole Braves team.
I missed the whole thing.
Yeah,
Your sound was just being weird. Sorry, your sound was just being weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me check something real quick. Is it doing that on the YouTube stream or just on your end? Is it doing that on the YouTube stream?
I don't know.
You know, the lineup with Sean Murphy, but he's... No, it was just your end. Once again. Kenny?
This is not bad on my end.
Yeah, that's what Barrett said,
Sorry,
too.
Max.
All right, you're doing the Phillies now.
I'm sorry about that. I couldn't hear everything.
Yeah.
Sorry about
It's all
that,
right.
Max. I can't help it.
I know.
It's the internet. Okay, the Phillies. What they have done this offseason. Where are they? Phillies! They still have free agent. They still have Spencer Turnbull as a free agent. I'm surprised he has not been picked up yet. They still have Jesus Luzardo. They acquire Jesus Luzardo, Jordan Romano, Max Kepler, and Joe Ross. They lost Jeff Hoffman, Austin Hayes, and Carlos Estevez. Not a bad off season, Max. What do you think? What do you think about their off?
I don't know why I keep exiting out of the off-season thing. Sorry.
They're good.
Yeah, so you know, they acquired Jesus Luzardo, they got Max Kepler. Outside of that, it was kind of, you know, they did get Jordan Romano. You know, they had an adequate offseason, but nothing special. You know, Luzardo's okay. He's struggled in spring though. So
they still have Trey Turner. They still have all the players. Bryce Harper coming back from his Alex Baum, Cody Clemens, Nicholas Castellanos, the guy that always get a home run when something bad happens. Brandon Marsh. They still have Weston Wilson. What do you think about this team, Max?
well, I think they'll be pretty good. I think the chances of them getting 3 teams in the playoffs are pretty high. We'll see about that. But, you know, the rotation is really good. Wheeler, Luzardo, Nola, Sanchez. Sanchez, I think, is one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. I think he's so underrated. I don't think people realize how good he is.
He's really good.
He might have the best changeup in the major leagues. Like, that pitch is nasty. I mean, he's just going to get even better.
Yeah.
And then you have Ranger Suarez. Yeah. You have Andrew, and then they have Andrew Painter, who's one of the top pitching prospects in baseball. And he's their 6th guy. They got riches there in that rotation. So,
what's it called? Aaron Nola is really good. He's really good.
And you have Zach Wheeler, who's always a Cy Young contender. And then the bullpen, you know.
Zach Wheeler is amazing.
Yeah, they've lost Jeff Hoffman, but they still have Matt Strom, who's pretty good. You have Orion Kirkering, who could be a breakout candidate. They added Jordan Romano. Jose Alvarado still in the mix. Tanner Banks, they got him at the deadline last year from the White Sox. You know, he'll be in the mix. Jose Ruiz added Joe Ross. Taijuan Walker couldn't get it done as a starter, so they moved him to the bullpen. You know, maybe he can give them some good innings there as a long reliever. But I like the bullpen, and obviously the lineup.
I like the bullpen as well.
Yeah, lineup should be good. I don't know if you went over that yet. But.
Oh, that lineup is amazing. I say. Do you agree with me, Max? The lineup amazing. Having Bryce Harper and Trey Turner, that's pretty good. Yeah. What do you think this team will be like? Do you think they're back to the playoffs again?
Should be.
And having probably one of the better catchers in MLB, JT Realmuto, I think this team's set for life.
Yeah.
Now, let's go to my personally favorite division in the AL. And NL is the NL Central. Who finished last place last year? The Pirates. Max, let's go. You're doing the Pirates.
Yeah, I think I have a lot to say about the Pirates.
I'll let you talk about it. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so Marcos Gonzalez and Yamani Grandal are still free agents, so that's whatever. But then they re-signed Andrew McCutchen to a one-year deal. Didn't expect them to, let him go. They acquired Spencer Horwitz from the Blue Jays and the Guardians. He was actually originally traded to the Guardians in the Andres Jimenez trade. But then the Pirates swooped in and got him. That was an interesting one because he has some injury problems and he's a little older for a rookie. Then they kind of just, got some bargain bin guys like Tommy Pham, Andrew Heaney, Adam Frazier, Caleb Ferguson, Tim Meza. They traded for Emmanuel Valdez. So,
Reduces severe dryness, starting in a shower. It's not just any glow, it's glow. New Lumila Glow Tint by L'Oreal Paris. Reflective pearls and blurring clearness. For lightweight coverage and effortless glow. New Lumila Glow Tint by L'Oreal Paris.
Wait, it's my bad. Let's go back to the Pirates. Notable subtractions: Aroldis Chapman, Luis Ortiz, Guardians now. We talked about him earlier. Brian De La Cruz, Connor Joe, Michael Taylor, So they, Pirates, they could have done more this offseason, I feel. Think about Clemente, okay. Yeah, they just failed to improve. It's just Bob Nutting. He just doesn't want to spend. It's incredible. The rotation has a lot of upside. That top three is fantastic of Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Jared Jones. Bailey Floater was pretty solid last year. I wonder if he can keep that up. And then they got Andrew Heaney for their fifth starter, who I think is pretty decent. So that rotation should be okay. The bullpen's going to be a bit of a question mark. You have David Bednar as their closer, very solid reliever, but had a down year last year. Maybe he can bounce back. Hopefully this year for the Pirates was just an outlier year. But, they have Colin Holderman who could be decent. Carmen Ladinsky has some decent stuff. Dennis Santana does too. We got Joey Wentz, Peter Strzelecki from the Guardians, Brian Borucki, Tim Meza, who's up and down. The bullpen, I am a bit worried about the bullpen, but we'll see what happens there. And then the lineup, I'm pretty worried about the lineup. Joey Bart had a better year last year, but can he stay consistent? He had a 7.99 OPS, 13 home runs. If he can, keep up his success, his momentum, that could be big. Spencer Horwitz is okay. Nick Gonzalez is still developing. Brian Hayes was disappointing last year. They need a big year from him. IKF is just kind of a, you know what you're going to get from him at shortstop. Same with Tommy Pham in left field. Center field, you have O'Neill Cruz in right field and Brian Reynolds, two guys that could be major pieces to their lineup. And then you have Andrew McCutchen at DH, who they re-signed. The lineup and bullpen aren't great. Starting pitching is good. I wouldn't say great, though, overall, because the top three are really good. But then 4 and 5 could be good, but, we'll see what happens. The Pirates, not a great team, but they have upside. Maybe they can compete in the division because how weak the division could be, but I don't know. I don't love their team.
But yeah, I like the team.
Yeah.
The Pirates are not that good. I hope they need to really rebuild around Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
Or in the next 5, 6, 7 years, whenever Paul Skeens is a free agent, he'll probably leave. Am I right, Max?
Yeah.
They really need to build around him sooner rather than later. But yeah, I'll go over the Cincinnati Reds. We're done with the Pirates, right? Just let you know.
Yeah.
Okay. The Reds acquire Nick Martinez, Brady Singer from the Royals, Gavin Lux from the Dodgers, Taylor Rogers from the Giants, Austin Hayes, Wade Miley, Jose Trevino, and Scott Barlow. They lost Justin Wilson, John Fandia, Ty France, Ahmed Rosario, Jacob Junis, and Joey Weimer. What do you think about this team, Max?
Who do we got?
The Reds.
The Reds. Yeah, they got a lot of young talent, but they kind of disappointed last year. They have Terry Francona as their manager now, but I don't know. I mean, they're going to be an interesting one. They got a lot. I think they have a really solid roster, but can it all come together? It didn't come together last year, but can it come together this year? You know, they're going to get Matt McClain back, but that's huge.
Yeah, but yeah, Terry Francona, your old boy.
Mm-hmm. They could finish last. Yeah, I mean the Reds could finish anywhere from first to last. That's them.
There's no in between.
No, I mean there is in between, but I think they could finish anywhere.
Okay.
In that division.
Oh yeah, how do you feel about Gavin Lux going to the Reds? I think that's a really sneaky.
Gavin Lux, I think you know what you're going to get out of him. You're going to get someone decent, but nothing special. I just don't think he's really that guy, you know, that people thought he was going to be. So,
he could.
I'm not counting on it though.
Hey, he's in a new spot now. I think it's going to help him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Reds. But yeah, the Reds are not bad, but I think they could be bad or good. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, Max, go over to the Chicago Cubs. Max, it's Cubs time.
So the Cubs, you know, they made some interesting moves this offseason. They made a big one. Kyle Tucker. I think we kind of know that now. We talked about that earlier. They got Matthew Boyd from the Guardians, 2-year deal worth $28 million, I think it was. Yeah.
That's not bad.
They traded for Ryan Presley. They traded for Eli Morgan, signed Carson Kelly to a 2-year deal, Justin Turner, Theobar, Brazer, Ray, Birdie, Poteet, Brujan Lopez, kind of fringe MLB players after that. Then they lost Cody Bellinger. They traded him, didn't want to pay him. They lost Kyle Hendricks. It was that relationship had run its course. And you have Mike Tauchman, Jorge Lopez, Isak Paredes, and Hayden Wisniewski. We all talked about earlier with the Astros.
And they also free agent still Drew Smiley, the Tigers legend.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Cubs team, I think honestly could win the division.
They could. You know, in the rotation, you know, it's going to be led by Shota Amanaga, Justin Steele. And after that, you're going to have guys like Matthew Boyd, Jameson Tyo, and Colin Ray's their starter. Solid rotation. I think it's one of those rotations. It'll get overlooked, but I think it's decent. You know, it's decently framed.
Is Shote going to be pitching next week?
I don't know. I think so.
Are you going to be waking up for those games?
Probably not.
I'll wake you up if you want me to.
Yeah, they did have a really solid offseason of the Cubs. I think Colin Ray is an addition that's getting overlooked. You know, he's not a big strikeout guy, but he's a solid 4th, 5th starter. Had a pretty solid year with the Brewers, and could be a guy that makes an impact in the rotation. And Javier Assad is still there.
But yeah, I think this team could win the division, but need to have really good season.
Yeah, you know,
do you agree with
that? Matt Shaw, their former first-round pick, is going to get a chance at third base. Nico Horner, you know, Michael Busch, can he recreate the success he had last year? You still have Dansby, Happ, PCA. Can he live up to the potential? You know, you have Suzuki and Tucker. You know, you're going to get out of them pop. So decent team.
What do you think about Danny Sant? What's his name again? The shortstop name again? I forgot his name.
Who got him?
Swanson. Dansby. Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry about that.
All right.
But yeah, I think Dansby Swanson could overall be really good this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Max, let's go over. But yeah, do you think we're done with the Cubs?
Yeah.
1 second. Okay, now we're going with the Cardinals, the team that I'm kind of worried about. Okay, free agents. Yeah, Matt Carpenter, Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, and Kyrie Middleton. Only acquired was just literally yesterday, Phil Maton. They lost Paul Goldsmith and Andrew Kittredge. I'm very worried about this team, Max.
Yeah. Who?
I'm very worried about the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't see it with the Cardinals this season either. They didn't really do anything this offseason. It just feels like it's kind of a throwaway year. No, they didn't trade Arenado. Rotation is kind of underwhelming outside of Sonny Gray. Eric Fetty's good, I guess, but outside of that, it's bad.
They did not lose. They still have 4 guys of free agents still.
Yeah.
I
Hopefully he's
think
a good closer, but bullpen will be up and down. Jojo Romero's not bad, though. But
I think all 4 of those guys could be on a roster right now if there's injury that needs to happen. That happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, this team is not good. This Cardinals team is not good. I hope you agree with me, Max. This team is not good.
I agree.
I think this team needs help. And like, if Amir's here, Amir, that guy that Amir, like your old boy.
Yeah.
Amir, if Amir's here, he'll agree with me. This team is not good.
That's not good.
And they're about to go and rebuild. They need to trade Nolan Arenado ASAP.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just not very good. Nolan Gorman, Mason Wynn. They have guys that could break out, but it's a big if. I don't see much with them either.
But yeah, Brewers time.
I think we know who they lost.
I think we're done with the Cardinals because the Cardinals are not much.
Yeah, I mean the Brewers. Like we said earlier, they got Cortez, who was pretty decent. They recently just signed Jose Quintana, Grant Anderson, Elvin Rodriguez, Tyler Alexander, Grant Wolfram, whoever that is. Mark Canha, they signed to a minor league deal. That was a bit of a late addition. They got him back, and he remember he played for the Brewers a couple years ago, and now he's back on the Brewers. You know what that means, Kenny?
Marfo.
Yeah, so he goes to the Brewers, leaves, and comes back.
Alert.
It's like Jack Flaherty.
Marfo.
And then they lost Adames, Williams, Montas, Sanchez, Hobie Milner to the Rangers too. They lost a bit. So they didn't really add a ton. They added Cortez, but they got a couple guys late. But
I think Nestor Cortez be good with the Rangers, not Rangers Yankees.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think Nestor is gonna be good?
I think so. They'll have him and Freddie Peralta at the top of the rotation. They have a lot of guys they could go with. They still have Brandon Woodruff. We'll see how he comes back from injury. They have Jose Quintana, Aaron Savali, former Cleveland Indian Guardian. It's Tobias Myers, who was pretty good last year. Former Indians Guardians prospect. Didn't do anything for us, but has been pretty good for the Brewers. Brewers pretty good at developing pitchers, though. So, that's that. Aaron Ashby's got some potential. I liked him a lot. Robert Gasser was a guy that looked good, but he had to get Tommy John. They have Jacob Mizorowski, who's a top prospect. Looking at the bullpen, it's pretty good too. You have Trevor McGill, Joel Payamps, Jared Koenig, Brian Hudson, Nick Mears, very solid. Elvin Rodriguez, former Tiger. So, I mean,
Alvin Rodriguez, baby.
yeah, it's a pretty good. You have Tyler Alexander. It's a pretty good bullpen. The pitching's pretty. I think the pitching will hold down. I just worry about the offense. You still have William Contreras, Christian Yelich still in there. Jackson Torrio should continue to do his thing, but I still worry about. I don't know if Sal Frelick and Garrett Mitchell, former first-round picks, they haven't really shown their potential. They don't have a ton of power. We'll see with them. Terang was good in the first half last year, then struggled mightily in the second half. Oliver Dunn is at third base. Third base is a hole right now for them. Joey Ortiz is a guy that could slot in, but he struggled down the stretch last year. And there's a lot of questions in this lineup. So we'll see what happens. But, Rhys Hoskins, he struggled last year. Maybe a couple years now removed from the torn ACL, he can come back to his old form, but we'll see. But, yeah, I mean, Brewers could be very good, but also could,
be bad?
Not bad, but I think mediocre. I think the Brewers have I think their floor is a bit higher than some of the other teams in the division.
Okay, let's go over to my least favorite division, all favorite division in all of MLB, the NL West. Yay! I'll go over the Rockies because I'm pretty sure they're in last place last year, Max. Right?
Yeah.
Rockies are not good, right?
No, they suck.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll be with you with the Rockies. Okay. The free agents. Daniel Bard is still a free agent, but they re-signed Jacob Stallings. They signed Kyle Farmer, Terry Estrada, and Scott Alexander. They lost Cal Quantrill, Max Fair player, and Brendan Rodgers. That's a bad team all over.
They stink. Ryan McMahon is decent. Maybe Nolan Jones could find some success again, but they stink. Ezekiel Tovar,
yeah,
decent, but they stink. The rotation sucks. Dodgers for me, yeah. Dodgers and Yankees. So,
But yeah, that team's not good.
I think that's all we need to
the
say.
The Rockies are not.
Who's
I
next?
hope Giants. Also,
Giants.
I hope Chris Bryant comes back to his old form.
I hope so too. I don't know. I feel like he just doesn't care anymore because he's now paid. He got paid.
Hey, I would too. Ooh.
Yeah. Who are you watching now?
The Michigan game. Donaldson and Golden just hit each other in the face.
Wow.
Collided with their faces like, ooh.
Yeah.
That
Ohio State hasn't made the NCAA tournament since the George Washington administration. So,
are you talking when they played Oral Roberts and lost first round?
No, they lost in 2022. They played in 2022. They lost to Villanova in the second round. That's the last time they made it.
I still remember the Oral Roberts Ohio State game.
Yeah.
We do some lost to a toothpaste.
Yeah.
What's the breaking news, Maxwell?
But before we get back to the baseball content, one of the top free agents available, Mekhi Becton, is signing a 2-year deal with the Chargers. So,
why?
I don't know.
Packers don't need him. Got Aaron Banks.
Mid.
Do you think Aaron Banks is bad?
I don't think he's that good. You paid him a lot of money.
Hey, you'll find out when we don't get sacked all year.
We'll see. All right, so looking at the Giants, They have no free agents left. They got two. They didn't do a ton this offseason, but their two additions were pretty notable. Willie Adames and Justin Verlander. They got Verlander on a 1-year, $15 million deal, and they signed Adames to that big deal. So, sorry. And then they lost Blake Snell, Michael Conforto, Taylor Rogers, and Mark Canha. Starting rotations got some upside. You got Logan Webb. You got Robbie Ray. If he can come back to form, he could be decent. You got Verlander. He might be washed, though, so we'll see. You have Jordan Hicks, who's been inconsistent. They're hoping for more out of him. And then Kyle Harrison, who they really
Verlander's having a good Verlander's having a good spring.
Yeah, we'll see if he can continue in the regular season.
Okay.
Nate Hayden Song, who I think might be better than Jordan Hicks at this point. Good fastball. Good young pitcher. Then you have in the bullpen, you have Ryan Walker as the closer. You have Camilo Doval, who looked for a bounce back year. He got option last year, which was interesting. So,
lose my.
Tyler Rogers is okay. Sean Hagel kind of stinks. It's outside of a couple guys. I'm not really a big fan of that bullpen, but we'll see what happens. And then with the lineup, it's kind of uninspiring. You have your Stremski, but he's up and down. You have Heliot Ramos, who should be pretty good. You have Willie Adames they added. I do like him and Chapman in that infield. Jung Hoo Lee, can he hit? He needed major surgery last year. Can he come back from that? He might take some time for him. Tyler Fitzgerald might be inconsistent. Lamont Wade, good eye at the plate, can walk, doesn't have a crap ton of power. Patrick Bailey, one of the best defensive catchers in the game, but can he hit consistently? We'll see. Only had a 637 OPS last year, so yeah. I mean, there's going to be some questions about that lineup, but
how do you feel about Willie Adames?
I think he's pretty good. I think he's one of the better shortstops in the game, but I do worry about the lineup a bit. I'm not too worried about their pitching, but I think the offense is the number one worry I have for them. I don't know if they can.
Yeah, same here. But yeah, give me a second. But yeah, are we done with this team?
Yeah.
The D-backs. Whoop whoop. Okay. They have no free agents. They have Corbin Burns. They signed Corbin Burns. They traded for Josh Naylor, Randall Grichuk. They re-signed Randall Grichuk and Kendall Graveman. They lost Christian Walker, Jock Peterson, Kevin Newman, Josh Bell, Paul Sewell, and the guy from the Guardians, Slady.
Yeah.
You know that guy?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, this D-back's a big signing of the offseason getting Corbin Burns.
He sucks. Slade Ciccone, he sucks.
I'm talking about Corbin Burns right now.
I know, but you said Slade. You said Slate. And I said he sucks. So
okay. But yeah, Corbin Burns, he's really good.
Of course he is.
Do you like him?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What do you think about this?
What's that?
What do you think about this Diamondback team going forward?
I think they're pretty good. I think they're a World Series contender. Rotation's good, especially if it stays healthy. Still have Jordan Montgomery in the mix. He wasn't great last year. Maybe he can bounce back. Ryan Nelson's a good depth to have. Bullpen should be pretty good too. I like AJ Puck. Joe Mantiply is decent. Kevin King, Justin Martinez underrated. They added Kendall Graveman. They got pitching. The lineup should be really good too. I think this is one of the more complete teams in the majors. Corbin Carroll, Jake McCarthy's underrated. You have Lourdes Gurriel. Still Geraldo Perdomo, who can be a reliable guy at shortstop. Eugenio Suarez can hit for a lot of power. We'll see about Josh Naylor. Let's see if he can keep it up. And then you have Ketel Marte.
I hope Erod can do pretty good.
Who?
I hope Erod's back to normal.
Yeah. And then you have Gabriel Moreno at catcher. I think they're one of the more complete teams in the majors. So, yeah.
I think the team could win. I don't think they're going to win it, but I think they could win the NL West.
Yeah.
They're not going to win it, but I think if they're in any other division, I think they can win the NL. I think they can win their division besides the NL West.
Very well could.
But yeah, how do you think about this team? Do you think this is not going to be a bad team?
Yeah.
Okay. Padres, Max.
we're okay. Here they are. The Padres, they have free agent left David Peralta. They made a few acquisitions this season, off season, nothing crazy. Nick Pivetta was their biggest one. They signed him to that 4-year, $56 million deal. Then after that, it was just a lot of veterans on 1-year deals, such as Elias Diaz, Connor Joe, Jason Hayward, Kyle Hart from the KBO, and then minor league deals for Jose Iglesias and Yoli Gurriel. Then they lost Tanner Scott, Jurickson Profar, Ha-Seong Kim, Kyle Higashioka, Martin Perez, and Donovan Solano. And the rotation was looking pretty good. There's still rumors about Dylan Cease and Michael King being traded, but I'm not sure if that happens at this point. If it doesn't, you still have them. You have Nick Pivetta. You have Yu Darvish still in that rotation. Matt Waldron, who was up and down last year, but still all right. You have Joe Musgrove. He'll be coming off injuries, so we'll see what happens with him. But there's a lot to like there.
I'm liking.
What's that?
I'm liking this team.
Yeah. Bullpen is pretty good too. Flores, Jeremiah Estrada is really underrated. Good strikeout stuff. You have Brian Honing, who they got in the Tanner Scott. Now, this is a really good bullpen too. Sean Reynolds could be good. 6'8". You got Johnny Brito. So yeah. Now lineup.
But yeah, Padres.
Diaz could, if he can have another bounce back year, he could be good. Cronenworth, Machado, Bogarts, can he bounce back and stay healthy? Hayward, can he bounce back after a tough 2024? Was one of the best young stars in the game. You got Fernando Tatis still. Connor Joe, designated hitter. Another team that's really good. I mean, you got some really good baseball teams in this NL West division. So, yeah, it just never pans out. But I just feel, I don't know. I mean, with the Padres, I feel like maybe this figure it out if they can stay healthy. But they have to stay healthy. Why was I muted? Kenny.
Yeah.
You muted me.
Because it's happening in the whole beep boop bop beep boop boop bop boo.
That's only on your end.
I know. I can't hear you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Let me check the stream again and see if it's good.
Oh, I
Stay healthy, but they have to stay healthy. Why was I muted? See?
But why is it happening on my end? I'm sorry. I just want to hear you.
Yeah, Padres. Padres are cool. I still have Tatis jerseys, so yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Dodgers. Free agents, Brett Honeywell, Joe Kelly, and Zach Longner. They acquire Blake Snell, Roki Sasaki, Teoscar Hernandez, Tanner Scott, Clayton Kershaw, Ha-Young Kim, Kirby Yates, Michael Conforto, Blake Trinan, Kike Hernandez, Giovanni Garillo. They lost Walker Baylor, Jack Flaherty, and Gavin Lux.
I think you know what you're getting from the Dodgers, a powerhouse. The rotation is going to be Shell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Ohtani, and Sasaki. You still have Dusty May, Tony Gonsolin, Clayton Kershaw, Landon Knack. I mean, this is ridiculous. Emmett Sheehan, goodness me. You have Gavin Stone and River Ryan, but they're going to be out for the season. I mean, they're going to have to trade some of these guys because there's some guys that are just too good not to be starters. I don't know how true it is, but I did hear a rumor that Shohei Ohtani might just quit pitching as a whole. I don't know how true it is.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think he should?
I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing for the Dodgers. They have so many guys.
If it was the Angels, if it was the Angels, we had a problem.
Yeah. They have Tony Gonsolin still. I mean, he was an all-star a couple of years ago, but he just can't stay healthy at all. He's hurt again.
Wow.
I don't think Shohei Ohtani's going to be pitching right away, though. Even if he does. I think it's going to be Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Sasaki, and May to start off. And you have Clayton Kershaw. I think he's still – I don't know if he's 100% yet, but I think Clayton Kershaw is just kind of content being like a sixth starter at this point of his career. I don't think he –
I say so.
So,
yeah. Well, yeah, Max. This team is very good.
Yeah, he's still hurt. Kershaw's not 100%. And then obviously the offense is good. You have Betts, Smith, Freeman. Edmund was really good for them last year. Muncy, Conforto, Hernandez. They have no weaknesses. Teoscar, Kike. Their weakness is probably center field, but you still have Chris Taylor. If he can, hit again, that could be used. Andy Pages has potential, and they have so many good prospects. I mean, the job that Andrew Friedman has done with the Dodgers. I know they have a lot of money, but you got to look at their farm system and everything. I mean, the Dodgers, they spend a lot, but I think what gets overshadowed by all that spending is the way they've been developing prospects. It seems like they have 7, 8 top 100 prospects every year. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay, Max. Now let's to our favorite part of the night, our predictions. Do you want to write these down?
I mean, you can. I mean, I'll probably remember mine.
Okay. I was just asking if you want to write them down.
Yeah.
Let's go to the AL East first. Who wants to go first?
You go first. Your stream.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be ready.
All right.
In last place, I have the Rays. Are you surprised?
Not really.
In fourth place, I have the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Third place, I have the Orioles. Second place, Red Sox, and first place, Yankees.
There you go.
What do
Did you say second place Red Sox?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that's fair. All right, I'll reveal mine now as well. At 5, I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Rays. I just think, a lot of that success is kind of running out now. American League East is getting better. Yeah. At 4th, I'm gonna go with the Toronto Blue Jays. They do have a better rotation than the Orioles. The lineup isn't, but I do think the lineup is a bit weaker, and their rotation's older. Don't know how it's gonna hold up. And 3rd, I'm going to go with the Orioles as well. Problem with the Orioles, that rotation is just so suspect to me. I talked about it earlier. Is Grayson Rodriguez even going to be healthy? He hasn't. I think he has like an arm, elbow problem or shoulder. It's not ideal. Yeah, they have guys on offense, but I'm so worried about their pitching. Bullpen is good, but if you don't have a good starting rotation, the American League should have a deep team. Number 2, I'm going to go with the New York Yankees at number 2. The Yankees, Giancarlo Stanton, they said he's probably going to return Memorial Day, but there's no guarantee he's going to even play this season. They're saying he still might have to get elbow surgery. No Garrett Cole. They're probably not going to be able to add someone of significance till the deadline. I'm not sure how they're going to pan out. The Yankees, they had a good year, then a bad year, a good year, and a bad year. I feel like this could be another bad year for them. It's been the theme with Aaron Boone, and I wonder if some of their luck is going to run out here. They still have Aaron Judge, of course, but, Juan Soto is going to be a major loss to that team. That's literally a top 3 hitter in baseball. That's a loss. You're replacing him with who? Cody Bellinger? I think they're still going to be a really good team, but I don't know, but I'm just not sold on Cody Bellinger at this point of his career. But
I agree with you.
I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox. They have pitching depth. Even with some of the injuries they have, they still have really good depth. And I think they still have some guys that can get even better. You have Jaron Duran, Rafael Devers leading that lineup. You have Tristan Costas, who I think will get better. I think Wilyer Abreu could even become an all-star. And then you have Trevor Story. If he stays healthy, that's a big piece of the lineup. And then they'll have some guys come up from the minors. Christian Campbell, Marcelo Meyer. That's a team I'm looking out for this season. And I think they could be a contender in the American League this year. And I'm a huge Alex Cora guy, too. So...
Okay.
Yankees, Orioles, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Rays. Rob's still believing in the Orioles, okay?
Okay. Our favorite division, AL Central. Last place. You go first. I'll let you go first.
Last place, I think we know who's going to finish in last.
The Royals?
Chicago White Sox.
Okay.
I was discussing 4th place. I was wondering if this team is going to be that team. I'm going to pick the Kansas City Royals in 4th. I'm going to go with the Royals in 4th. I was thinking maybe going with I don't know, the Twins at 4th, but I just think the Twins are a bit unpredictable. They could be really like underwhelming or really good. I still feel like there's something there. So I'll go with Kansas City at 4. I think Kansas City, they were just such a fluke at home last year. I just don't think that's going to happen again. So, although they were in first place entering the last month of the season, they really had a bad September. And I don't know if that's how they're going to play, if they're going into, next season. We'll see, though. At 3rd, I'll have the Minnesota Twins. I think, like I said, I think they'll play decent. I just don't think they'll be a great team, though. But I think they'll finish above a couple teams in the division. I've been debating the Cleveland Guardians and the Detroit Tigers for 2nd and 1st all offseason long, and it's tough, but I'm going to go with the Tigers at 2nd. I had the Tigers for a while, but my main issue with the Tigers, were they promising last year? Did they make the playoffs in the ALDS last year? Yes. But, they before, like just slightly after the trade deadline, they had like a 0.8% chance of making the playoffs. They had like a really solid month and a half, to get them to the playoffs. Like, good team. I think that maybe they can carry that momentum into the season. I think they'll still be a decent team. But do I think with the way they played for most of the season, that's a first place team yet? I'm not sure. And, but I still think they'll be a contender to make the postseason nonetheless with AJ Hinch in the fold. And then at 1st, I'll go with the Cleveland Guardians. I know people are going to be like, they lost a couple guys. They lost Andres Jimenez. They lost Josh Naylor. That's true. But I don't think they really downgraded. They have Carlos Santana. He might be a bit of a downgrade on offense, but he'll still probably hit 20 home runs. And then here's the thing about Josh Naylor. Outside of April and the first half of May, I think he was a 6.90 OPS hitter the rest of the season. He was okay, but he wasn't like this star, so, and they get better defensively with Carlos Santana. And then you have with the Guardians, Andres Jimenez is a great defender. They're going to get worse defensively at second base. We know that. And that might affect like a guy like Emmanuel Clase, but they're going to upgrade on offense, I think. A 6.3 OPS the last 2 years for Jimenez. That's easy to upgrade on. That's well below league average. And I think the Guardians, they'll find a guy that can hit 700, that'll be an upgrade. So looking at it, I think the Guardians will be okay. Kyle Manzardo, I think, will break out. You'll have him, Quan, Ramirez, Lane Thomas, I think will have a decent year. He finished the year really strong last year, the last month and a half. He had a terrible first month with Cleveland, but then he absolutely exploded after that, though. He found his groove, and I think he'll try to carry that. He's had a really good spring, too, so I'm not worried there. So I think the Guardians will still be the team to beat in the division, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was close with a team like Detroit.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
5th place, White Sox.
Yeah.
I was going back and forth between 4th and 5th all day, but I'm
4th and 5th. Who else? In what world are the White Sox finishing 4th?
I'm messing with you. 4th place, I have the Royals. 3rd place, I have. You might not like this. I think the Guardians might go 3rd place.
Okay.
I have Twins at 2nd and Tigers at 1.
You were wrong last year about the Guardians, so let's just be wrong again.
I'm just saying, can I say some things about this, about my thing?
Yeah, and I'll counter it.
White Sox is horrible. But yeah, Guardians. Who's in their role? Who's in their bowl? Oh, yeah. Who's in their what's called rotation?
Tanner Bybee, Gavin Williams, Luis Ortiz, Ben Lively, and Tristan McKenzie right now.
The only good player in that team is Ben Lively.
Ben Lively's like the 3rd, 4th best. What do you mean?
What's his name, number 1 again?
Tanner Bybee? I think Gavin Williams is pretty good too. He just had an injury last year. That's why he kind of struggled, but he's healthy now.
Oh. But I still think the Guardians,
and they're going to get some guys back later in the season, and that they still probably have the best bullpen in baseball.
I just think the Tigers are better right now.
I mean, okay.
I feel like the Tigers improved over last year's team.
Yeah, we'll see.
Adding Gleyber Torres might be big. Gleyber Torres is having a pretty good spring.
Yeah.
Enjoying Detroit.
Okay.
He's still pretty young. Am I wrong?
He's still young, yeah.
But yeah, I think the Tigers. Why is someone honking the horn?
Wow.
I think the Tigers have a good chance to win the AL Central. I just think they are. I think the Twins might be better than the Guardians this year.
I don't know, man. Twins are tough. They're tough. Like I said, they're going to be tough to predict.
But yeah, I'm sorry about my takes.
That's all right.
I think the Twins stay healthy this year, and they'll probably get second place. Is that a good way to say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to AL West. You can start with. I'll start with the AL West. Last place is going to be the Angels.
Okay.
Are you surprised?
No.
Fourth place, the Athletics. Third place, Mariners. Second place, Astros. First place, Rangers.
Okay. Any
What do
reason
you
why?
think about that? I just think the Rangers are better than the Astros. They lost a lot of players.
Yeah.
And I think the Astros are going to be healthy this year.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, I'll go with mine now. At fifth, I think everyone's agreeing it's going to be the Angels. They added some guys this offseason. It's not enough. Rotation won't be enough. You know, it's a bunch of old guys plus Kikuchi and a bunch of, unproven and consistent guys. Mike Trout hasn't proven he can stay healthy, so I'll throw him at 5. At 4, I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners. I know they have a great rotation, but that team outside of the rotation is aggressively mediocre. Lineup is below average. Bullpen is mediocre to below average, except Andres Munoz and Matt Brash. And Matt Brash can't stay healthy. So I think Jerry DePoto, not Jerry DePoto necessarily, but I mean the ownership is going to pay for. You get what you pay for, as they say, and I think that's going to what happens to the Seattle Mariners. At 3, I'm going to go with the Oakland A's. I think that's kind of a no-brainer there. I think they'll ascend a bit.
Hey, you can't call Oakland A's.
I'm going to call them the Oakland A's because that's what I'm used to. So I'm not calling them the Sacramento A's. That's corny.
No, just the A's.
Okay. At number 2, I'm going to go with the Houston Astros. And at number 1, I'm going to go with the Rangers. The reason why I'm going with the Rangers over the Astros, the Rangers just have the better lineup. I do think the Astros have better pitching overall. But the one problem I will have with the Astros is their lineup depth. I think their depth in like their hitting depth is really bad. Like if they have an injury or two, say Yordan Alvarez gets hurt, you're going to lose some protection in that lineup. You're not going to have a lot of depth. Their farm system sucks. There's a lot of guys that are just whatever. Like McCormick, Myers, can Jeremy Pena even hit again? Christian Walker. I mean, he'll be a good addition if he's healthy. He did have an oblique injury in spring training. If he's healthy, he'll be good. Isak Freitas, he's kind of a wait-and-see guy, but I think he'll be pretty good too. In the Crawford boxes, Jose Altuve is making an adjustment to left field. I still think this will be a good team, but I just believe in the Rangers a little bit more. I think they have a bit more depth than the Astros.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Mariners do underperform.
The AL East. I'll let you go first.
Okay. At 5, I think it's a no-brainer. It's going to be the Miami Marlins. They're going to be aggressively bad this year. So At 4, it's going to be the Washington Nationals. As much as I want to pick this team higher, I just can't, given the state of the Mets, Phillies, and Braves. Although this is going to be a team on the rise with guys like Dylan Cruz, C.J. Abrams, James Wood, all ascending. So then at 3rd, third was tough, but I'm gonna go with the New York Mets. I know they added Juan Soto this offseason. They made some good moves this offseason, but I still wonder about that starting rotation. It seems like a lot of their top guys are injured. I mean, you got a reliever being your opening day starter. What does that tell you, Kenny?
I don't know.
You got
Clay
issues.
Holmes not bad.
And especially in that, yeah. But I mean, if you're starting a reliever on opening day, although he's going to be stretched as a starter, we'll see how he does. But if that's what your plan is in a division with 2 other powerhouses and the Nationals who are on the rise, I don't know. Okay. At number 2, I'm going to go with the Atlanta Braves. They have guys in the lineup. Can they stay healthy, though? We'll see. Can Acuna get back to what he was? But I think the rotation's good. Spencer Swollenbach should be a guy that breaks out. Plus, some guys come back from injury like Spencer Strider. At number 1, I'll go with the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies have a really good lineup, and I think that rotation is top 5 in baseball. And I think that's what's going to put them over the top. And I think, I don't know if their bullpen has as much depth as the Braves, but I mean, I trust some of the coaches they have over there. I'm gonna go with the Phillies. I think they'll. I don't even think the Phillies have hit their peak. So.
Give me 2 seconds. Okay. In last place, I have the Marlins, of course. Right?
Yeah.
In 4th place, the Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
The third place, I got the Mets. One second. Second place, I got Second place, I got the Braves, and first place, you got Phillies.
Okay, so you agree with me.
I have to.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. You're okay. They NL Central. I'll go first. The NL Central I have in last place, I have the Pirates. Not Pirates, the Cardinals. Sorry. 4th place, I have the Pirates. The 3rd place, I have the Reds. 2nd place, I have the Brewers. And 1st place, I have the Cubs.
Okay.
The reason why I have the Cubs over the Brewers, because they have, what's they signed, what's his name?
Tucker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
not bad. That's not a bad reason.
Yeah. Okay. At 5, I'm gonna go with the St. Louis Cardinals. I almost went with another team here, but I'm gonna go with the Cardinals here because I think their bullpen is aggressively mediocre outside of Ryan Helsley. The lineup has some good pieces, but nothing spectacular. And who knows if those guys can keep up what they did last year? Can Eric Fetty pitch as well as he did last year? He's been kind of mediocre outside of last year in his career, even though he got better in the KBO or wherever he was. So I'm going to put them at 5. They just don't seem to care that much. At 4, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Offense is a concern, could be a bottom 5 offense in baseball this year. The reason why I put them at 4 over the Cardinals is because of their pitching. Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Jared Jones. I think the rotation is pretty solid. You have Andrew Heaney still there. Who's their 4th starter? Bailey Falter, who's okay. And then, yeah, I'll go with them at 4th. At 3rd was tough, but I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers at 3rd. I know a lot of people are going to really like the Brewers. They'll be a hit or miss team for me this year, though, because, they've developed pitching. they do develop pitching really well, but I'm still kind of skeptical. They did lose Devin Williams, which is a big loss in my opinion. And the offense, although there's guys here, I just think if they're like a Christian Yelich or William Contreras injury away from having a really poor lineup, in my opinion, compared to the rest of the rest of the teams like in the middle to the top. So that's where I'm at right there. At number 2, I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Reds. I'm probably higher on the Reds than most because, I really like some of the young pieces they have. They still have Ellie De La Cruz. He had 2 home runs in the first spring training game against Cleveland. Matt McClain's still coming back. And I said this a couple years ago. I'll say it again today. I think Matt McClain, while healthy, can be one of the best hitters in all of baseball. Really like him. And then, I do like what they have in the rotation. You have Hunter Green. I know Nick Lodolo hasn't looked great this spring, but I think he's a guy that still has a lot of potential. They still have Alexis Diaz who could bounce back. They have some notable names in the bullpen: Brent Suter, Emilio Pagan, Taylor Rogers, Nick Martinez. They brought back who will probably start some games for them. I really like the Brady Singer trade for them. I think they won that trade. Andrew Abbott should get better. Wade Miley, I think a lot of people are forgetting about him. Last time he was with Cincinnati, he was very productive. Rhett Lauder should make his debut this year. I think Spencer Steer, I think a lot of people are forgetting about him. Candelario can't be any worse than last year. Tyler Stevenson had a good year last year. I think Encarnacion Strand will get better too. So I like it there. So, and the number 1,
do you like my?
What's that?
Do you like my lineup I have for the teams?
Yeah. And then number 1, I'll go with the Chicago Cubs. I think being led by Craig Counsell is big. They went out and got Kyle Tucker. They made a splash this offseason. I think Matt Shaw will be a contender for Rookie of the Year there at third base. So I just think the Cubs, they'll be the best team. I like what they did this offseason, and they have a good veteran presence there. So yeah.
Okay.
And a guy like Cooper Armstrong can get better.
But yeah, I think I had Cardinals, Reds. Is Red okay be in 4th place, you think?
Yeah.
Could you see him in 4th?
I could. Yeah.
Reds. No, not Reds. I had Pirates, then Reds, then Brewers and Cardinals. Okay, not Cardinals, the Cubs. Okay. You can go to the last one. You can go first to the last one, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so with the NL West, I think 5 is easy. You got the Colorado Rockies. At 4, I think that's pretty simple too. The San Francisco Giants. I just don't think they have the firepower the other 3 teams have. At number 3, I'm going to go with the San Diego Padres. This is a team I want to be good. They're going to be the team I root for in the National League this year. Because they got a lot of players I like. I like Fernando Tatis Jr. I like Dylan Cease. But I do think they'll finish 3rd. Because I do think the Diamondbacks have the upper hand. I think who knows even if Dylan Cease will he even be on a team or Michael King. There's still maybe entertaining trade offers, but I think right now they're looking at it like I want to keep these guys. But like Rob said, the Padres can underperform at times, and I think they'll be good. But I think I'll slightly lean towards Arizona. I'll go Arizona at 2, and then the Dodgers at 1.
Okay. 5th place, I have the Rockies. 4th place, I have the Astros. Not Astros. Sorry, I'm losing my mind here.
Yeah.
I have San Francisco at 4. 3rd place, I have the D-backs. 2nd place, I have the Padres. And 1st place, I have the Dodgers.
Yeah, 1-3 will be really close, Rob. 3 very good teams. So
I like it. Yeah. I like that 1, 2, 3. I still see the Giants getting good golden playoffs, but but not this year.
Yeah.
Okay, Max. Time for our playoff predictions.
All right.
You can go first for the AL side.
Okay, so in the American League, the 3 division winners for me were the Boston Red Sox, the Cleveland Guardians, and the Texas Rangers. My seeding prediction will be Boston Red Sox get the 1 seed, the Texas Rangers get the 2 seed, and the Cleveland Guardians get the 3 seed. Those will be my top 3 there. And then for the 4th, 5th, and 6th seeds, we got to pick 3 teams to make the playoffs. I am going to This is as the 4th seed. I'm going to take. I'll take the New York Yankees. No, wait. Yeah, I'll take the Yankees. The thing about the Yankees, I was saying they could have a bad year this year, but I don't think the American League is as strong as it's been the past few years this year. So I think that'll be benefit a team like the Yankees, even though they lost Juan Soto. I'll have them at 4. At 5, I'm going to go with the Detroit Tigers. I think that rotation will show. I think the bullpen's got some decent pieces. I know there could be maybe the lineup could be a fluke, but I think some of those young guys will end up getting better, which will help, even if some of the other guys struggle. And then for my 6th seed, I'm going to go with. This one's tough, but I don't know.
Astros?
Maybe. I think I'll. Okay, I'm not going to go with the Orioles because pitching is just too much of a question mark. Like I said, you know what? I'm going to go with the Twins. Twins at 6. Like I said, I think they're one of those teams that could be really just not great or really good. And I think they're going to be a team that kind of surprises people a little bit. I think they'll a lot of people are writing them off right now. I still think
Okay.
It could be a good team. So I think so I'll go with that. I'll go with 1 Red Sox, 2 Rangers, 3 Guardians, 4 Yankees, 5 Tigers, 6 Twins.
Okay, my 1, 2, 3 was the. I'm just remembering the 3 winners I had. It was the. There's no particular order yet. It was, what is it again? I had the Yankees, Tigers, and what was the other team I had again?
You're the Rangers.
Oh yeah, thank you. Sorry, I just forget about sometimes.
Yeah.
I have. Think that if there's a hot take, I have Rangers,
Okay.
Tigers, Yankees.
Okay.
Rangers at 1, Tigers at 2, and 3. The Yankees. My 3 teams. Is it 3 or 4 teams?
It's 3 teams.
3 teams, right? Okay, 3. I have my 5th team. I have the Red Sox. My 4th team, I meant.
Yeah.
5th team, I have the. Who did I get? Sorry, I'm just struggling here for a second. What do I have for? I have. Then I have Twins and Guardians.
Okay.
Just like last year.
We both have 3 teams in the AL Central.
Just like last year.
Yeah.
Don't we have the same playoffs, but still
in different
orders?
Different order. So
I don't think any other team. I don't think the Astros will be good this year. Okay, what's your NL?
Okay, so my division winners were the Phillies, Cubs, and Dodgers. At 1, it's going to be the Dodgers. At 2, it's going to be the Phillies. At 3, it's going to be the Cubs for my seeds. And then for the 4th seed, I'm going to go with the Arizona Diamondbacks. For my 5th seed, I'm going to go with the. For my 5th seed, I'm going to go with the Atlanta Braves. And then for my 6th seed, it's gonna be down to the Padres, Reds, and Mets. And I think I'm gonna choose. I think I'm gonna choose the. I'm gonna go with the Padres. I was tempted to go with the Reds, but I think I'm gonna lean towards the Padres. I think the Mets missed the playoffs. I think that's one of my bold predictions this year. still skeptical about their rotation and the injuries they have.
Hey, I'm not. What's it called? I'm not denying it.
Yeah.
My 3 division winners was the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Phillies. Yeah, Phillies.
Yeah.
My top 3 is I got Dodgers, Phillies, and Cubs.
Okay. Makes sense.
And my my 4th team, I have the. Did I have the D-backs in 2nd? Oh,
Yeah.
I have the Braves.
You have the Padres in 2nd in that division.
Okay, sorry, I just get confused.
All right. It's all right.
I have D-backs. I have D-backs. Not D-backs. I have Padres. No, Braves in 4. Padres at 5 and 6. I have the D-backs. How's that?
Wait, who do you have? Padres, D-backs, and who else? The Braves?
Padres, Braves, D-backs.
Okay. We have the same exact playoff teams, like all through. That's crazy.
Hey.
Just different orders.
Hey, it's not bad order.
Yeah.
And my teams in the wild card round, I got the Cubs playing against the D-backs. I have Cubs win. Want to go that way? Cubs do that. Want to go that way?
Sure.
I have Cubs beating the D-backs in 2.
Okay.
And I also have the. What was my 4th and 5th? I have Braves beating the
Padres.
Braves beating the Padres in 3 games.
Okay.
And my my other side, I have Yankees beating the Guardians 2-0. Sorry, Mac.
It's all right.
And I have the Twins losing to the. Was it the Reds? I have Red Sox beating the Twins.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your teams?
Okay, so for the National League, I have it'll be Cubs versus Padres, and I'll have I'm gonna take the Cubs to win that series.
Okay.
And then for the Diamondbacks versus the Braves, I'm gonna take the Diamondbacks. So did you did the whole NL right?
Yeah.
Okay,
NL and AL. Wild card.
Oh yeah, for the wild card. And then for the AL wild card, for the who is it? The Guardians versus the
Tigers?
Twins.
No,
Guardians.
Twins.
I'll go with the Guardians and beat the Twins in the wild card. And for the Tigers and the
Yankees,
I'll go with the Yankees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. We can just skip to the World Series now.
Well, what about our ALDS predictions?
ALDS is kind of weird. I don't remember who goes where.
Oh, the winner of the 3 and 6 plays the 2 seed, and the winner of the 4 and 5 plays the 1 seed.
Oh, the 6. Who did I have for my 6?
So you had.
I don't remember.
You had Cubs versus the the Diamondbacks. Who did you have winning that series?
Cubs.
Okay, so they would play the your 1 seed. No, your 2 seed. They would play your 2 seed, which was
Phillies.
Phillies, yeah.
Okay, I have Cubs. I have Phillies beating the Cubs, and I have the Dodgers beating whoever I played. It's Phillies, Dodgers. That side.
Yeah. Okay, so for me, it'll be Dodgers versus the D-backs, right? D-back, yeah. Dodgers, D-backs will go with the Dodgers, and then for Phillies and Cubs, I'll go with the Phillies.
Okay.
I think we'll be set up for a really good series between the Dodgers and the Phillies.
Okay.
So
Tigers playing the.
Yeah.
I have Tigers playing the Yankees. I'm pretty sure because I have the Yankees beating the 6th seed. I remember I just said Yankees beat. It was Yankees. Guardians. Remember?
Yeah.
I have Tigers beating Yankees. Sorry, Max.
Bro's just gonna pick the Tigers every time.
Hey. And I have Rangers versus what's the other team? What did I have 4 and 5?
You had the Twins versus the It was the same team I had, the Red Sox.
Red Sox. And I had the Red Sox beating the Twins. Oh yeah. I have Red Sox beating. I have the Rangers beating the Rangers beating the Astros.
I don't think you had the Astros in. You had the same as me.
Red Sox. I meant Red Sox. I'm sorry.
Red Sox, yeah.
I'll lose my mind.
Then you have Red Sox Tigers then.
Yeah, Red Sox Tigers. Championship series.
Okay, so for me it will be who is it again? Crap, I already forget.
Sorry, when it gets this time hour, you forget.
Yes. Okay, so I had the Guardians playing the Rangers.
Rangers, yes.
Yeah, Guardians playing the Rangers.
No,
I had the Red Sox 1, Rangers 2, Guardians 3. So it'd be Rangers, Guardians, and then it would be, and then the one would be for me the Red Sox versus the. My 4th seed was the Yankees, and then my 5th. Who did I have? Yeah, I had the Yankees beating the Tigers, so it'd be Yankees and Yankees, Red Sox. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Red Sox to beat the Yankees.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go with the. So it's Guardians Rangers. That's a tough one.
I'll go with mine.
I haven't made my pick yet.
No. Oh yeah.
I'm picking between Guardians and Rangers. Man, this hurts, but I think I'm going to go with the Rangers.
Okay.
Problem is, I just think they have more offensive power, and that's going to help in the postseason.
I have Dodgers beating the Phillies, and I have Tigers beating the Red Sox.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the. So for the National League, I'm going to go with the Phillies to beat the Dodgers. It's hard to repeat in baseball. I mean, the Dodgers, their team can be as good as it can be, but it's going to be hard to repeat for any team. And I think the Phillies have as much depth and talent as the Dodgers do. Maybe not. I mean, look at their rotation. Look at their lineup. I mean, they may not have Otani, but
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
yeah, they're going to use the power of friendship. And then for the Red Sox Rangers, I'm going to go with the Red Sox. I've been high on the Red Sox. Like, usually teams that spend big in free agency, I'm like, yeah, I think they have the chance to be good, but I still want to see more. I'm all in on the Red Sox, so that's a team I'm all in on with Alex Cora running the show. Well, my World Series is Phillies Red Sox.
Phillies Red Sox. Okay. I have Tigers Dodgers. My World Series winner is the Detroit Tigers.
Kenny's such a homer. You gotta be realistic at times, though.
This is not that bad realistic. I saw a couple.
Yeah, it is. Come on. I'm realistic with my team. You probably picked the Tigers to win the World Series when they won 40 games in 2019.
I bet I did. At least I'm proud of it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. How many games do you think Tigers will win in then?
90. 90 wins.
No, I mean like in the World Series.
Oh, they'll win in 7.
Oh, we have some news. John Gray fractured his wrist, so that's another starter down for the Rangers.
John Gray. Oh yeah, I was like
Rangers starting to get kind of concerning though. But that lineup is so good on paper.
Hey, MLB Network did predict Dodgers over the Tigers.
Really? What? Really?
I have the facts right here. I'm sending to you over your way right now, Max.
Okay, well, I'm picking the Phillies to win the World Series over the Red Sox.
Hey Max, I'll be sending you some information.
All right. Kenny, you sound like a robot now.
My Wi-Fi is being bad right now. My Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so I got Phillies in 6 over the Red Sox.
I sent you a link. Look at the link in the chat.
Okay. Wow.
Did I lie?
No, but I don't think it's going to happen still. Well, the difference is they picked the Dodgers to win, not the Tigers.
But yeah, okay.
All right, what about awards?
Okay, let's go with the MVP. Who's your MVP?
Don't we usually do the MVP last?
Oh yeah. Cy Young.
Okay. Cy Young. For the American League, you're going to have some good candidates. You're going to have Tarek Skubal. You're going to have Pablo Lopez will be up in the race. You'll have Garrett Crochet. You'll have Carl Shordon. You'll have options there for that NL Cy Young. I mean AL Cy Young. My bad. But for the AL Cy Young, this is hard. Knew it would be. Well, not really. I'm gonna pick Tarek Skubal to win again. Why not? What are you going with, Kenny?
Skubal.
Yeah, he's just the best pitcher in the American League. There's some good pitchers in the American League, but he's just.
I'm not being a homer right now.
I mean, that one's like realistic though.
I'm actually not being a homer for that one.
Yeah.
AL. What's your AL?
What do you mean? That's my AL Cy Young.
Not AL.
Scuba.
NL.
NL. I always pick Dylan Cease to win, but I'm not picking him this year, and he might get traded anyway, so I'm not picking him.
Fine, I'll go mine. Zach Wheeler.
Okay. Zach Wheeler. I picked him last year.
I think he come back.
Yeah, he could. I'm not going to pick him this year though. Gosh, I want to say him so bad, but I know he's probably not. Like it's bold, but we've had some surprises win before.
Also, the same website for MLB prediction, they predict White Sox over Cardinals in 2033.
Yeah.
Just let you know.
All right. White Sox, okay.
Is that bad prediction a couple years from now?
Yeah.
That's 2033.
Not true.
That's not 2027 coming up.
Yeah.
Can the White Sox be a different team between now and then?
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your prediction?
For Cy Young, there's another guy I really like here. I don't know if he can stay healthy though to win it. But he's damn good. So I'm not going to pick him because he just can't stay healthy. I mean, I almost made my decision, but I know most people are going to try to pick Paul Skeens. I think Paul Skeens will be up there. He'll be in the race, but I don't think he wins it. I think someone else will win it. I am going to go with I might go with this guy right here.
Who is it?
I'm going to go with Yoshinobu Yamamoto from the Dodgers.
Wow.
That's my prediction. I'll go with him and Scuba for my Cy Youngs.
Okay. Your rookie of the years. I'll go first. My NL rookie of the year, I have Dylan Cruz.
Okay.
Not a bad move.
Yeah. For
AL, I have. I have to. But I think he's going to be really good this year if he gets to play a lot.
Yeah.
Jackson Jobe.
He could be. Yeah.
What's yours?
Okay. For the NL rookie of the year, I'm going to go with Matt Shaw from the Cubs. I talked about him earlier. I think he's going to be primed for a solid season. He'll have some protection in the lineup around guys like Kyle Tucker and such. Watch out. Cruz could definitely win it, though.
Okay.
But I think he wins out.
Matt Shaw.
Yeah.
And AL.
And for the American League, I will take.
Lakers lost again.
Damn.
Okay.
For the American League, I will go with Jacob Wilson from the Oakland A's. Or the A's. The Sacramento A's. Sorry. Jacob Wilson, Matt Shaw for Rookie of the Years. My prediction.
I'm looking at a odds prediction. They didn't have him in the odds.
Really?
Nope.
They have him at plus 1,400 here. They have him fifth odds. Best.
I'm just looking at Fox.
Yeah.
Okay. Manager of the year. Who's your NL AL manager of the year?
For my AL manager of the year, Alex Cora.
Okay.
For my NL manager of the year, I'll go with Craig Counsell.
Okay.
Yeah.
My AL manager, I have my boy AJ Hinch because he got shut out from last year.
Yeah.
Tigers could really realistic to win 3 awards this year.
It could.
I'm not being a homer.
Okay.
But it can realistically win 3 awards, winning the AL Rookie of the Year, AL Cy Young, and Manager of the Year.
I mean, you could say that about a lot of teams, though, not just the Tigers.
True. And my NL is Craig Counsell.
Okay.
Any more awards?
We didn't do MVP.
Is there any other awards they do during awards week? MLB awards. Gold Glove, AL, MLB team, all MLB teams too much.
Yeah.
Manager, Hank Aaron's too much. Silver Slugger's too much.
Yeah, I think.
Who's your comeback player of the year?
Well, it's got to be somebody that came back from injury, and I'm going to go with Yamamoto, like the guy that won the Cy Young because he was hurt last year.
I have what's his face? Who's that guy that was hurt last year and should come back? I don't know anyone.
I know Acuna was hurt. I know Spencer Strider was hurt. I don't know when they're going to come back. That's the problem. I know Yamamoto's already back. So
when's Acuna come back?
They're still without a date.
I have no clue. Okay, let's go to MVP. I gave up. Sorry.
It's all right.
MVP. Max, you can go first.
For the American League, I'm going Jose Ramirez.
Wow.
I've never picked Jose Ramirez to win MVP until this year. So I'm going to take my shot.
My American League. My brain's like turning like a wheel right now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pick him. The guy I'm always gonna pick is Riley Green, but I'm not gonna pick Riley Green.
Okay.
You know what? I think even though he's on a bad team, Mike Trout.
Okay.
What do you think?
That's not bad if he can stay healthy.
But can he still be in 5th place but still win the MVP?
Yeah.
And your NL?
My NL MVP.
Give me some Dodger, I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to have to pick Ohtani again. I mean, he just wins it every year. and I can't pick against him until he doesn't win it. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. I'm picking. I have a feeling that Kyle Tucker might win it, but I don't think he's going to.
Mm-hmm.
Could you see Kyle Tucker winning it?
I could, yeah.
But Shohei.
Yeah. He's won an MVP in 3 of the last 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And he might come back to pitching too, which would even help his case even more. So, yeah.
But yeah, I think those are our predictions.
Yeah.
We've been going for 3 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah, these ones are always long.
But we went for a lot of stuff. If you're at this point, if you're wondering right now if you're here, I don't think you're here, but there's a lot of stuff here. We went over for everything. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. That was a long stream.
It was a long stream.
I don't even know how does people like Tom Grossi and all these people go live so long and nobody shows up.
Yeah.
At least the chat was somewhat interactive tonight.
For sure.
But yeah, I'll let you guys go. Go Packers, go Lakers, go Tigers, go Red Wings. Me and Max be back for Tigers Guardian stream this year. I hope you guys show up because
100%.
My channel is very small. 719. By New Year, I'm hoping to get 800 subscribers. Is that a good prediction?
Yeah.
How about, you know what? By NFL season, if I make a video by each week, maybe get 900 by New Year.
All right. 900 by New Year sounds good.
Probably next week, I'll do my March Madness predictions like always. Sorry, I just took a little break from YouTube, but YouTube, it just kills me after doing my 12 days of Ken Dogs.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Would that be like if you were like doing it every day?
Yeah. You're not
New
wrong
video
there.
each day? It just kills you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. But yeah, have anything to say before we leave?
I do not, other than had a good time. You know, we lasted over 3 hours, and yeah.
MLB back is pretty soon.
Sure.
Hey, the Tigers have a really hard schedule to start out the year.
Yeah.
Playing Dodgers right away.
We got to play at the Royals right away, I think.
Hey, I'm okay with playing the Dodgers week 1.
Yeah.
What do you think? Would you rather play Dodgers now or at the end of the season?
I'd rather play them now.
When they're not hot?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys later. Peace.